Stay together. Keep to the light. Jonas, move in!
Jonas! Jonas!
The shadows will get you eventually, the deeper in you go. Keep to the light to buy yourself some time. Harpers, move out! Jaheira!
Hello.
Stop! What's you doing? She's the one who saved us!
Oh my god, soldier. That's Jaheira. The Jaheira.
Oh, you're all right. Thank goodness. I was worried they'd got you too. It just never stops. Roland, of all people, saved us.
Cute. Maybe she'll write a ballad about me. She can leave out the part where my brother and sister were dragged away screaming while I was saving the orphans.
Jaheira said we should serve drinks, but that we shouldn't serve drunks.
By the gods, one of Lolth's abominations.
And you? What are you?
More faithful of the Absolute. They need a guide to the tower, same as us.
Elminster?
I'm here on behalf of Mystra. The message and the charge I bring you are hers.
The all.
Precisely. You must find the heart of the Absolute, whatever that may be, and use yourself as the catalyst that will burn it from this world.
Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name's Cinderellimouse and we're back with Baldur's Gate 3. In the last video, Elminster, who is a very powerful wizard and friend of Gale of Waterdeep, dropped a bombshell literally and told us that Mystra, the goddess of magic, expected Gale to blow himself up and destroy the Absolute. Ending himself with it. We are not super keen on the idea, but we're supportive. You know, whatever Gale feels is necessary, we will support. However, we do want to look for viable alternatives to that. We are heading to Moonrise Towers, which is the heart of the Absolute. We did find a nice little kind of like pub in Light in the Darkness situation with the Last Light Inn, and Jaheira, who is kind of a hero in her own right. Karlach was totally fangirling at her, and yeah, maybe we'll have a chat with Jaheira in this episode. Dirge was also tasked with killing the cleric Isabel. Isabel is actually the person kind of keeping the kind of light dome up over the Last Light Inn, so I don't know if killing her is going to be a good idea for our friends who are kind of like hanging out there. But I think what we're going to do now is go and explore the Last Light Inn a little bit more, speak to a few more people, and then see if we can head to Moonrise Towers. We do have the Drider, who is like a spider, literal Spider-Man, who is a little bit cuckoo, but he did say that he can lead us to Moonrise Towers. He has this kind of like lantern that can light up the area, so we have options is what I'm saying. But I want to talk to everybody about Gale because, oh, don't worry as well, everybody's encumbered. It's not going to be for long. There's a reason for that. But yeah, I think Claudia wants to kind of maybe have a chat with a few people, see what they're all thinking about the whole Gale situation. But yeah, let's head over to Will.
A shame my first brush with the famed Elminster couldn't be a tad more optimistic. Listen, I might invoke the Triad from time to time, appeal to Helm, but I'm no man of faith. Not like Gale. I don't know what drives a man to consider his own death, among countless others, to be an appropriate exchange for his goddess's forgiveness. To me, it all sounds like nonsense. The faith that matters most is that which you hold in yourself, in the ones that most matter to you. Big Bomb be damned. Gale's got everything he needs to defeat the Absolute already. Talent, nerve, and powerful allies at his side. I hope he'll come to see that.
Later, Frontiers! I love the reactions. I love the companions being all like protective over Gale and being like get out of here, gods, like we can do this. Like, I don't know, like being a cleric herself, like obviously Will said there that, you know, he's not a cleric, you know, he might pray to Helm from time to time, but he's a paladin. We made him a paladin, but you know, he's not a cleric. So yeah, he doesn't have that sense of loyalty to a god or goddess like we do. Obviously Gale's and Mystra's relationship was very complicated. They were in a whole situation, but being a cleric of Listery, Cordia definitely has that sense of loyalty. Like, she really believes to an extent that she's being visited by the goddess in her dreams and she is divinely guided to be the person in the right place at the right time in this whole absolute situation. So, you know, as well, being like, she's been led there to the Shadow Curse lands as a cleric of light. It's like, oh, I am here to be the light in the darkness, like Jaheira said in the last video. So this idea of being like almost like pawns for the gods, or, you know, carrying out the god's will, is not a foreign concept to Cordia. So even though she doesn't agree with it and she's like, we'll try and find another way, we'll try and find another solution, I do think she has that sense of loyalty to her god. So for Gale to be doing what Mystra commands is not a totally out of the box concept for Cordia, at least. I don't think Dirge is going to quite feel the same way, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna save that. We'll talk about that later with him. Let's concentrate on the Gale conversation. I want to talk to Shadowheart and then we'll talk to Gale.
I can't believe Mystra actually expects Gale to just sacrifice himself like that. Seems like a waste of a fine mind.
That's really interesting because Shadowheart has been doing what Shar wanted her to do, like no questions asked. So again, like Shadowheart had her mind wiped, she was sent into a Githyanki creche, which is incredibly dangerous, to go and steal the artifact that's kind of keeping us alive. And yeah, she was just okay with that. She was like, whatever Shar wants, like, you know, and then to turn around and be like, I can't believe Mystra actually expects Gale to just sacrifice himself. I think it's really interesting to see how each character learns about themselves and their own loyalties through the things that happen to their companions. It is kind of a major theme of Baldur's Gate, this idea of like, who are you loyal to, like who has power, like are the people who are in power using that power correctly? So if you think about like Astarion with Cazador, you know, and the abuse of power there and their dynamic, you know, Cazador's not a god, but he is more powerful than Astarion. And then Shar and Shadowheart, Lae'zel and Vlaakith, who's like the goddess of the Githyanki, Gale and Mystra, Will and Karlach obviously being kind of indebted to these devils. It is a really interesting thing about, like, you know, who has power, are they using that power correctly, and who are you loyal to the right powerful people? I just think it's really clever, that kind of running thread through all the different stories. Let's go and see what Gale has to say about the situation now that he's had chance to kind of like sleep on it. You know, it's a really complicated situation for him as well, because obviously Mystra's his ex, and you know, he kind of crossed a boundary with her, she got mad at him, he's definitely in her like bad books. So for her to be like, well, Elminster said like Mystra is willing to kind of like forgive you, or whatever she sees as forgiveness, if you do this for her, but like forgiveness at the price of what? Like his own life? Seems excessive. I don't know. Let's talk to him.
An audience with Elminster is never less than memorable. I'd have hoped to introduce you to him in less dire circumstances. But those are hard to come by these days.
An old man with a craving for cheese. Hardly the great wizard of legend. I'm a bit sad that we did it that way, because if you meet Elminster kind of out in the field rather than him just kind of like jump scaring us at camp, he's kind of like, oh, we can talk, but I want to go and have some cheese. Which is like really funny. You get a little bit more dialogue about it. But yeah, that's what she's gonna say. An old man with a craving for cheese. Hardly the wizard of legend. Like, in a joking way, not in a rude way.
A wizard doesn't reach Elminster's age without enjoying their home comforts. Those who seek danger over cheese don't tend to live as long. For Mystra to have sent him, the severity of her bidding could not be clearer, or weigh more heavily on me. Time seems so infinite when you're young. A month is an age. A year is a lifetime. It is a strange feeling to realize how little of it one might have left.
I mean, that's the situation that they're kind of all in. They are going into the heart of the absolute, right? This very dangerous see you later, Toby. There is, you know, they have a lot of power, they have a lot of influence, they've got a lot of people who are kind of like flocking to Moonrise Towers to support them. So, you know, this could be the last day for all of us. You know, this isn't a singular experience for Gale. You're seriously considering doing what Elminster said?
Of course. We offer the clearest solution to our problem. All I have to do is find the right place and time, close my eyes, and let go. Then the slate will be clean. Wrongs will be righted, the absolute will be gone, and I along with it.
It's quite a daunting prospect as well to like, we know that Mistress said that she'll forgive him, but what does that really mean? Because the thing with like D&D law and therefore Baldur's Gate law is that when you pass, you go to a certain place, like, and it all depends on who you're loyal to and whether or not a god or goddess claims you in the afterlife. So for example, as a cleric of Illustory, Cordia would expect to go to, I think it's like Avendor, and be claimed by Illustory. That's kind of where her goddess lives. So first of all, you go to the Fugue Plane, where it's kind of like a waiting room of the dead, and then a god or goddess comes and collects you. Yeah, I think you know, being in a situation where you've fallen out with your deity is kind of like, well, what's going to happen to me? And kind of worst case scenario, you can end up being a literal brick in the wall. Like your soul just kind of goes to this wall of souls and just kind of fades away into nothingness. Like that is the end of you. Or you can make a deal with the devil, literally, and become a lemur, which is what Mystra was threatening. Sorry. Mystra? No, Mizora was threatening Will with. She was like, I'll turn you into a lemur. And it's kind of like a blobby, oozy, you know, like the Little Mermaid, the creatures that kind of the witch, the sea witch has on like the floor, these kind of like creatures. It's that sort of thing, and they're kind of like the bottom rung, like the bottom of the pile of devils, and you have to work your way back up again. And so like if you don't have a deity, it's a bad situation for you in D&D. So, you know, Gale's is in a really scary place right now. I don't understand. Can't Mystra just destroy the Absolute, or even Elminster himself if he's so powerful?
No doubt she has the power to do so, but as for the permission, Ao would not look kindly on her meddling in mortal affairs. Divine intervention has a tendency to make things worse, not better. As for Elminster, he's saved the realms more times than legend can recount. But to take on a god is no easy feat, even for him. My orb is the best chance we have, and only I can wield it.
Yes. Yeah, she would understand that. Like, gods shouldn't meddle in mortal affairs directly, which is why they send people like Cordia. So that's it. You're on a suicide, if we're using TikTok speak here. You're on a suicide mission now.
Possibly the most spectacular one ever conceived. But essentially, yes, I'm living on borrowed time in more ways than one. Perhaps this is how it must be. That remains ahead of us for now. The heart of the Absolute must be discovered before I can stop its beating.
Okay, we're going to get a repetition of dialogue here that drives me crazy, but she's not going to say, I'm not going to let you, because, you know, he's got his own autonomy. If that's what he wants to do, she won't stop him, but she is going to try and find another way. So, and we do need to find the heart of the Absolute and do, you know, if we're going to do something about it. So I'll make sure we find it, Gale. I promise.
Then I suppose there is nothing more to be done but find the heart of the Absolute and stop its beating.
That repetition of dialogue really annoys me. Okay, that is fine. Let's quickly jump over to Dirge then and see what his companions have to say. His kind of little team. We will switch the teams up and kind of, you know, take different people out, different groups out, so we get all that dialogue. But for now, I'm sticking with the same group. So Karlach, I love this reaction. This is my favourite reaction to Elminster.
Oh, was that Gale's granddad?
She's so funny. Dirge would be like, I'm going to say look like it, but it's sort of like, certainly look like it kind of thing. Looked like it.
Wonder if he's a wizard too. He's certainly got the beardliness for it. Why'd he come all this way to track us down?
I do like to say don't worry about it, because she's got her own concerns, and you know what, like, it's a very, very, very similar situation, because Karlach, like Gale, has like the bit of the weave inside his inside his chest, which is basically going to explode. Karlach has her kind of machine heart, which runs too hot and can also explode. So yeah, it's a similar concern, similar situation. So I do like don't worry about it as an option. It's like you've got your own stuff to think about. But he's going to tell her, he's like, she's a big girl, you know, Gale is part of the team. She deserves to know what's going on. I don't think it was. I don't understand that. We're not saying that because it doesn't make sense. It turns out Gale has an explosive bomb in his chest, and Mystra has asked him to use it to blow up the heart of the Absolute.
Whoa now, he's got a... Well, I guess that would explain a little, but... Mystra? I mean, this is a lot to take in. What's he going to do?
I'm not sure. I think he's of several minds.
Well, tell him to pick the right one. Well, better yet, I'll do it. Fucking wizards, man. They always need help picking the simple, obvious option. If Mystra can't think of another way to stop the Absolute than sacrificing Gale, she's no god worth worshipping. I'll say that to Gale in, you know, gentle terms.
I love that. I love that so much. Like, being a Northern girl myself, like, I feel like that kind of character and that kind of attitude is so, like, it's like everybody's auntie, right? And everybody's auntie at the party, like, right, listen, I'll have a word with him. I'll talk to him. I'll make him see sense. I am that person. I am that person being like, let me talk to him. I'll set him right. You know, it's such a, like, that is Mama K right there. Okay. We're not going to say that right now. I've got something else to talk about Karlach, but we'll hang on a second. Let's go and see what... Oh,
if
such
not
a good
over,
boy, Scratch.
then
You're the best boy. Let's go and talk to Lae'zel and see what Lae'zel thinks.
Elminster. Even the Githyanki have heard tell of the Sage of Shadowdale. Some of his works have been translated to Tirsu. That doesn't mean his every word carries wisdom, however. Near as I can tell, Mystra demands Gale's faith, but holds no faith in him. Why else would she demand Gale sacrifice himself, and perhaps so many others? Does she not think he can destroy the Absolute with his own immense talents? does she not know the mighty company that he keeps? Demanding Vlaakith may be, but she acts for the good of the Githyanki people. Mystra is concerned only for herself. Bah. Perhaps he'd find forgiveness in a fiery death. But I can't help but wonder why he'd want it at all.
So much to unpack there. Okay, so I'm gonna forget everything I want to say with this. So again, the similarity of like the loyalty to a goddess. She's directly comparing Mystra to Vlaakith, and she's like, at least Vlaakith thinks of the good of the Githyanki people, but does she though, right? And then like, I love that thing as well of like the indirect compliment of like, you know, her sort of like letting it slip that she thinks really highly of Gale. She's like, how mighty, like a mighty powerful wizard he is, or whatever she said there. And so that's such a beautiful little slip for Lae'zel, being quite a critical, harsh person, to kind of let it slip that she's like, my companions are the best. They're so strong, they're so powerful. And then like the mighty companions that she keeps, I just love her so much. She's so baby girl. And like, yeah, well, there was something else as well that I kind of wanted to pick up on. Like, Mystra's asking Gale to sacrifice himself, but isn't Vlaakith willing to sacrifice so many Githyanki for her cause too? And like, not only that, but like the Githyanki will literally infight and kind of like survival of the fittest. So there's like a culling of the weakest within Githyanki culture. So I don't know, it's one of those situations again where I think, you know, she's not quite seeing her own situation clearly, but she is comparing it. And I think this is one of the first stages of kind of like wheedling her back out of her little see you later Toby that she's got herself in, and kind of like thinking a bit more clearly for herself. This game is so clever and it's so beautifully written. There's so many things that I'm just like, you know, it's not... Again, with Baldur's Gate, I think sometimes it kind of like tells you everything. It's like talking at you, where this game, it kind of like drops little things that make you think for yourself. And, you know, like the characters give themselves away through the things that they're saying or not saying. And I just think that's so clever. Again, it's like, it treats the audience as smart, right? And if you don't get it, if you don't pick up on things, it's fine, right? Because you can still play the game and have fun. But the more you play it, the more little things you pick up on and little things you realise that is so beautifully and cleverly written. The writers of Baldur's Gate they did a fantastic job, like top tier writers, because they're showing, not telling, right? Anyway, okay, let's keep going. Just love this game so much, and it's one of those things, like, I keep playing it and I keep discovering things, and the more I play it, the more I love it. Okay, Astarion.
Something's on my mind.
I can't believe Mistress demanding Gale sacrifice himself to destroy the Absolute. It's just a waste of a perfectly good cult that we could be controlling. And a waste of a perfectly good Gale, I suppose.
It's so funny. A waste of a perfectly good Gale. Again, like, he cares about Gale, guys. Like, Astarion does have a heart. So I'm just seeing how like tired I look. It's like, maybe this lighting, maybe the Shadowlands lighting is not that complimentary to me. And then as well, like, a perfectly good cult we could be controlling. He's like, why would we blow it up when we could use the power for ourselves? He's just such a character. I love him. Okay, right, I am going to have a Dirge's team head back to Last Light Inn, which is kind of where we left them in the last video, and he's going to be heading out.
God's blood, this is heavy.
Okay, lots of chatting going on. We're going to be heading out to go to the Drider, because Dirge is on mission. He's like, we're heading to Moonrise, we're going to go and check out this place. But I've got a little task to do on the way.
Heading out without Isabel's blessing? Have you got a death wish?
I'll be fine without it. Like, he's got a plan. He knows that he can get to the Drider just with literal light, like literal torches. And as well as that, like, he's going to the Drider who has the moon lantern. And he's like, I don't know, maybe I'll take it off him. You know, maybe I'll take that moon lantern for myself. He's got a plan. I'll be fine without it.
I won't tell you your business, but I hope you're right.
Also, he was tasked by the little weird creepy butler guy to kill Isabel, and Dirge doesn't like being told what to do, and he doesn't trust that guy, and he doesn't like, you know, how his power and his autonomy was taken off him in the situation with Quill the Bard. So yeah, he's ignoring the butler. He's like, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
There's more where that
and so the idea of like going seeing Isabel, he's like,
wish we had stone.
No, not today. Not today, Satan. So yeah, he is heading out, but on the way, do you remember in the last episode we saved this little guy here, Harper Jonas? He seems fine now. Maybe not all there. He has had an experience. But there is an interaction that I want to do, and it does require getting something off him. So I'm going to have Astarion go over here. I can't just hide because I will definitely be seeing there's too many people around. So I'm going to use one of my potions of invisibility for this. And then I'm going to hide and go into turn-based mode. And I'm just going to pickpocket this guy. He doesn't have a lot on him. Oh, no, who am I pickpocketing? Oh no, is that my action? Have I used my action? No, we're okay. I don't know who I clicked on then. He's got this blade, the Harper blade. So normally what happens is he is kind of one of those characters that's meant to die. And we did manage to, through bugs and glitches, keep him alive, which I am very proud of. I love that we saved him. And I hope like Baldur's Gate don't ever patch that out, because I love when, like, you know, players can kind of like jump through hoops and find workarounds to kind of make something happen. So I love that this is something that is possible. I hope they don't fix it. It's one of the good bugs, you know. But yeah, normally he'll die, you'll loot his body, and you'll get this Harper blade. So we missed that because we kept him alive. But I do want to kind of get the interaction still. So I'm just gonna get that. So targets 2, pickpocket, sleight of hand successful. And we are out of here. So I'm gonna go to Dirge, exit turn-based mode, and then assume they're heading out, but I'm actually just gonna send them back to camp for a second. So as Dirge is leaving, Cordia is also heading to Last Light Inn. So map, Last Light Inn. Again, if you're not aware, I do this jumping back and forth between camps so that we don't miss dialogue if I've got the other group in the world. So yeah, that's why I do it this way. So there's a few different people we can talk to. This lady I'm going to come back to in a second. I'm sorry, my camera seems to be like a little bit funky today for some reason. So there is this lady that we can talk to, but I'm going to head over here first. And guys, this is one of those situations where it's like, this is the thing I want to do first, but I can't. So
looks like that odd ox made it through the shadows.
Yeah, we do have the strange ox. I'm gonna have Dirge talk to him eventually. Cordy's not talking to him today. We can go ahead and talk to this ox though.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Glad to see you made it. I am. Indeed I am.
So we met this blacksmith, Damon, and these oxen at Druid's Grove, at the Emerald Grove. So do you remember where like the tieflings were, and they were kind of like taking refuge there? So yeah, it's nice to catch up. I'm glad that they kind of made it here. I'm gonna say that I'm glad to see you made it too.
I remember you from the Grove with the Druid. I hoped to see you again, and now I have.
How did you make it through the shadows?
On the double, one hoof quickly following the other.
Well done. She'd give him some scratches right on the forehead, right between the horns. Okay, now we're going to talk to Damon. Right, guys, I have some explaining to do. So, Damon is the one who can...
Tell me, what can I do for you?
Nothing at the moment, Gail. I accidentally clicked on you. So, some of you may remember that Damon is the one that can fix Karlach's heart. We got some infernal iron, and he did an upgrade on her heart, so she's not burning quite so hot anymore. She's a little bit safer. And he said, if you find more infernal iron, come back to me and we can do a second upgrade to kind of like improve her heart even further, because like I said, she could basically explode any moment and overheat. We have got more Infernal Iron. We did find more in Act 1 and we can come to him now and do that upgrade right now. But the thing is, Dirge and Karlach are romancing, and when we improve her heart, I want Dirge to be able to actually hold her and kiss her and have that cutscene. But there's a bit of a weird thing in Act 2 where there's like a priority order for cutscenes, and so if I do it now, we won't actually get the cutscene. It'll like veto itself. So we're gonna have to unfortunately make Karlach wait for her upgrade, as much as I wanted to do it right now. And I kind of like did a bit of trying and testing to kind of see if I could get that cutscene to occur. Couldn't get it to happen, so we're gonna wait for a little bit on that, but we will do it as soon as I'm able. But we can speak to Damon, and he does have some interesting things that he can help us out with. So, hi!
It's you. What are the odds? So glad you're all right. Well, as all right as any of us. A makeshift Harper's Fire might not be where I hope to set up shop, but maybe I've got something you can use anyway. And if you find any interesting materials in need of working, I'm happy to help.
Ooh, actually, about that. Interesting materials. What do you mean?
I hesitated to mention this back in the Druid's Grove, for obvious reasons, but no one has earned my trust if not you. When Elturel was dragged into Avernus, I was drafted into a devil's smithy. It should have been awful. Infernal metal is like a wild horse. Powerful, exuberant. It'll kill you if you lack technique. I can sense some. Smell it almost. Somewhere in the area. Underground, maybe. Out there in the shadows. If you find it, bring it to me. I'll make something incredible.
Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're actually going to go and find the metal that he's talking about and bring it back to him, and that's when we'll do Karlach's help, because it's kind of like a quest, and if we already have the metal, like, we don't necessarily have to do the quest, but I want to do all the quests, so we'll do that on a different day. We'll do that at some point in the future, but we do actually have 3 pieces of infernal metal left from Act 1, yeah, let's see what we can make with that. Well, first I want to say, sounds like you had an interesting time in the Hells.
Some of us had it easier than others. The baker, the schoolmaster. When Elturel was swallowed up, they could do little but survive. As for me, I won't say I enjoyed my time there, but it was certainly instructional.
Okay, I found this metal in a place called the Grimforge. What do you make of it? I think it is the infernal metal, the infernal iron, but yeah.
Absolutely. Rare to get your hands on this stuff. Well done keeping it to hand.
It's very heavy. Karlach's been carrying it around in her backpack for quite some time now. He's very quick. Makes this in a matter of seconds.
There you are. And be careful who you show that to. It might draw the wrong kind of attention.
Flawed Helldusk armor. Let's look at this stuff. Now, I am stupid because I thought Karlach could wear heavy armor, and apparently she can't yet, but we will absolutely put this on Karlach. I wish it had Hellcrawler. Like, if this had Hellcrawler, it would be so perfect for her, because I love that ability. But yeah, this is really cool. Lesser Infernal Retribution. When you are hit by a foe within 2 meters, it might take fire damage. So that's a little bit like... Sorry, that's a little bit like Hellish Rebuke. And then Superior Plate, you take 1 less piercing damage, which is good because she is a melee fighter, so she's often up close. And then also it does give a disadvantage on stealth checks, but she's not the stealthiest person anyway. It says, I learned so much from, what does it say? Carixin? It's hard to read. All sorts of forgecraft that, sorry, just when I think of him and the whimpers of those people inside him made, I don't know. What? Anyway, it was worth it. Worth it to be the best. Overheard from Smith Damon. Wow, the people inside of him? Who was this guy? I don't know if there's some lore about that guy. I'll put it up on screen if I can find it. But yeah, we can basically do that like 3 more times or 2 more times, and then he's got something else we can do. So I'm going to probably skip the dialogue, but we'll get some more. So yeah, we can also say, let's try this because it's a slightly different dialogue. I think I found a material you could work with. What can you make with it?
It's perfect. Really. Just a moment. I'll be able to work this one quickly.
Very quickly, apparently. Let's just do a quick skip.
There you are. And be careful who you show that to. It might draw the wrong kind of attention.
We do get a little bit of change there with what he says about it, but so I was just looking at my lighting. I don't know if I need to turn my light on back there, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, flawed Helldusk helmet. Magical durability. The wielder has a +1 bonus to saving throws against spells, Constitution saving throws. When I found, I can't read that name, Carrickson, he turned to me, all those poor people's souls crammed into him like too many wary bees in a rotten hive. And he grinned at me and he said, I've been expecting you, boy. Overheard from the Smith Damon. Okay, this is so curious.
Need anything?
Yes, please. More of that armor because it's amazing and I love it. It's the armor I always put on Karlach.
Well. I knew I smelled something, and I know just what to do with it. One moment.
Really interesting that he can smell out the infernal metal. Yeah, he said that before. So now we've also got the flawed Helldusk gloves. I love this. I don't think it's like a full set of armor. If we do find any more infernal metal that we're not going to use for Karlach, we can definitely keep coming back to Damon and seeing like how much of this we can get. But it's so cool. So it's definitely worth picking up as much infernal metal as you can find. Don't just kind of like leave it behind because you've fixed Karlach. Like, pick it all up. Lesser Infernal Touch. Your weapon attacks deal an additional 1d4 fire damage. Your unarmed attacks deal an additional 1d4 necrotic damage and can possibly inflict bleeding, which is just amazing. And then strength saving throws +1. I did consider giving these to Dirge for a hot second because I do like the idea of him giving necrotic damage, but it says unarmed attacks and he doesn't really do unarmed attacks, but Karlach does. Lae'zel also does, so again could be an option for Lae'zel, but I love, like with the fire damage, I love it for Karlach. I think it's so perfect. And it also says, beneath those horrible sounds of, well, let's call it what it was, torment, beneath the tormented screams, I heard this moaning sound like many people in pain, and I heard the ringing of a great hammer. Carricksim's forge was close. Again, more lore about Damon there. I think Damon's such an interesting and unique character. I'm going to go ahead and send those to... I don't think I can send them to Karlach, actually. I think she might be... Yeah, she's very, very encumbered right now. But it's fine. We're going to sell all this stuff to Damon.
Need anything?
The other thing we can also make is... do you remember the Merrigon masks? They were like little gold masks. We fought one of them. I found some hellish masks. Can you make anything of these?
Using something that's already fabricated is tough, but I can try. How many do you have?
Take all the ones I've got. I think you can actually get 4, but I've got 3 currently.
I thought I sniffed American scent somewhere. These must have been a pain to get a hold of.
Wasn't too
American
bad.
masks are brittle, so what I make won't last as long as my usual pieces.
Again, like, it's worth doing this. I don't think there's much use for the Merrigon masks. Like, you can put them on, but I haven't personally found a use for them. So, yeah, we're going to get something else instead.
There. Be careful who sees you using that. Might draw the wrong sort of eyes.
Orthon Explosive. So again, I'm going to send these over to Carla because she is my demolitions expert, but deals fire and thunder damage to nearby objects and knocks them back. So pretty cool. Could be very interesting to use those. Damn it again.
Need anything?
For the 100th time. Let's finally see what you have. Okay, so he has got some new items in Act 2, which we're definitely going to buy. But first of all, I want to get his attitude fully up with me. So currently he's got attitude 86 with me, which gives me, behind my head, it says the discount is 70%. But I want to get like the best value for money that we can possibly get off him. So I'm just going to go ahead and give him like all these daggers that Gale's carrying around for free. Yeah, like that, straightforward, balance offer. Oh no, I don't want a balance offer, sorry. No, you have that back, honey. Barter. I'm just donating them. And you can see now I've maxed out his attitude. Attitude 100%. And up behind my head, it says the discount is minus 79%. So he's going to sell us things for cheaper, basically. And again, Damon is the only trader that I know of that is in Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. So if you're going to up the relationship with anyone, I do recommend Damon. And he does have some interesting things. So he has this Darkfire short bow that I definitely want to grab. He also has a couple of swords I'm interested in. He's got a few different things, some armor and stuff, but the things that I'm shopping for today are the Sword of Clutching Umbra, which gives you Shadow Soaked Blow, which is 8 to 20 damage, and it also deals psychic damage. I really like the ooh, I pressed a funny button. I really like the idea of giving this to probably Astarion. I do like him to do a little bit of psychic damage, especially if he's considering like the absolute stuff and the like eating more tadpoles, because it gives you some psychic powers. And then this for Dirge, the Sword of Life Stealing, on a critical hit. And remember that Dirge has a lot of things stacked so that he can do a critical hit if he rolls a 20, a 19. I can't remember how many he's got, but he's highly likely to do critical hits. Excuse me. On a critical hit, the target takes an extra 10 necrotic damage. And again, I like necrotic damage for Dirge, as long as they're not a construct or undead. And you also gain 10 temporary hit points. So it's a bit like Wither and Bloom, which is a D&D spell where, you know, you do damage, but you heal. A bit like Astarion's bite attack. Like he bites, drains their health, but it gives him health. So yeah, really, really cool stuff there. Folded into the steel of this menacing weapon is an ally of enhanced metal. It waits like a leech in the thick swamp water, awaiting a victim to taste, awaiting a chance to restore your heartiness and inflict suffering on your foes. Again, this would be a really nice sword for Astarion if you weren't playing with Dirge, or if you've got a different build for Dirge. So yeah, that is kind of what we've got. The Darkfire shortbow as well actually gives haste as a spell, which is really cool, and it grants fire and cold resistance, which if we wanted to fully kit out like Team B, do you remember when they were going into the forge and I was like, I need fire, I need cold? You know, that would be a really cool thing to have. But I think I'm going to give that to Shadowheart because her current bow is kind of a bit boring. I think it's like a +1 bow. The other thing that I want from him today are the Sword Master gloves. Sword Mastery, so these are very similar to the gloves that Cordia currently has on that give her proficiency with archery, but this is going to finally give her proficiency with the Faerun, which again is that super special drow weapon given to her by Alistri. Like there's so much lore around the Faerun, being kind of, what are they actually called? Like a moon blade, a moon sword? Anyway, Sword Mastery. You gain proficiency with short swords, long swords, and great swords. In addition, you gain a +1 bonus to melee attack rolls. So if you don't want to use up your feats or take certain classes, if you want to get proficiency via an item, this is how you do it. It'd be cool if that was a ring as well, I think, rather than gloves. But yeah, we're going to give that to Cordia. So excited for this. Pale green dye. What else do we have here? Swamp green dye. Not too interested. You do get some interesting shields and things as well, like this Enforcer set you could get if you wanted to. It kind of means that you don't kill people. It's good for if you're just kind of being a bit of a policeman in the game and kind of knocking people out, but I'm not interested in the enforcer stuff. Undead slaying, what have we got here? Roaring thunder. I'm going to grab these arrows of many targets because they're going to come in useful if like we're dealing with invisible people. And arrow of lightning, I feel like we've got a few. I'll leave that for now. Okay, and then we're going to sell and trade everything we've got basically here. So all this stuff, we're gonna basically take him for what he's got. How much money does he have? Let me just drag all this over, and we'll see if we can balance this out. So all this stuff here as well. I don't want to give him the harper blade. I need to be careful to keep that. All this stuff. All this stuff. So I just set up in between episodes. I went back to camp, and all the stuff that I've been sending to camp, like every time we loot a body, I've been sending it to camp, kind of stockpiling it. This is all that stuff. I just had it all in a chest. I've actually got more. This isn't everything that I've got. We're trying to make it up to 3,400, so let's keep giving him everything that we can. There we go. We've actually gone slightly over, but I'm just going to go ahead and barter anyway. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Can I balance offer? No. Yeah, barter is fine. We like Damon. And you know what? The Harpers and the Tieflings that have survived, all the people at the Last Light Inn, they need these weapons. They need this good stuff and this good armor that we've been collecting. The more we can kit out their army and their soldiers and their forces, the more chance they have of surviving. So if we're donating stuff, it's to a good cause. Perfect. I am happy with that. Let's go.
I'll be here if you need anything else.
Good man. Okay. If we go over here, there is another trader. This lady over here, kind of like by the entrance. So let's go and have a chat with her as well. Quartermaster Tally. Because we still have some stuff to sell, so we've taken
Stock up while you can. I only hope I've brought enough to see us through.
We do have this persuasion check, which I always feel a little bit guilty about, but I'm going to do it just to kind of like show you. We can say, anything I could take off your hands at no extra cost to myself. Which is not what we're here for. I am willing to just donate weapons and stuff to her, but yeah, we can do it. Guidance, let's go ahead. I don't know why I don't have Shadow Hearts stuff there. Maybe she's a bit encumbered. Maybe she's off on the other side of the map still. But yeah, we've done it, so.
Cheeky. But, since you're asking.
Thank you, lovely. So just letting you guys know that if you need a supply pack, if maybe you're doing like a hard mode where, you know, camp supplies are, you need more of them, that is something that you can do. It is worth 40 camp supplies. That is one long rest on normal difficulty, so worth getting. But yeah, let's go ahead and sell stuff.
If you're all right by Jaheira, you're all right by me.
I mean, I don't know if Jaheira's fully warmed up to me yet, but I'll go and have a chat with her soon. Let's see your wares. So again, she's got a load of like really good, interesting stuff, some amazing spells and things there as well. I don't feel like I need to get everything just yet, but showing you some of the stuff she's got, this is all just modded items like clothing and things if that's what you're looking for. I've got a list of my mods down below, but yeah, she's got some things like the Harper Hood, the Hat of Uninhibited Kushko. There are a couple of things that I do want to grab. For example, I like this. For Gale, perhaps, if you don't have, because again, I think this might be modded, the Mage's Tunic that he has on currently, but if you want to get something similar, she does have the obsidian laced robe that grants you resistance to fire damage, and also has something very similar to Hellish Rebuke. So I do like that for Gale, but I like what he's got more. This is similar to what Dirge has, the Mighty Cloth, but it's strength instead of dexterity. I think I might get that for him. It's an interesting thing to have. And also the Cloak of Protection, because Shadowheart doesn't currently have a cloak, so I feel like we can grab that. But yeah, she's got a load of really interesting things that you can like look at and consider. And I do think we might come back and get some more stuff off her later. Just looking at the dyes and things she's got as well. I do need a little bit more light blue dye, I think. No, I've got plenty. Black and Furnace red dye, I want to grab that. Okay. Yeah, so do definitely check her out if you want to. She's got things like the Scroll of Conjure Elemental as well, really handy. Haste, but again, I don't think I need too much off her right now. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and sell her the remainder of this stuff. What do we have here? There we go. And we've got more than enough money for that. And then I'm going to go ahead and balance off her and just get that remaining bit of gold. Perfect. Fabulous.
Take care now.
Will do. You too.
Dead man walking.
And then let me just quickly go here and then I'll send everything to everybody. So Sword of Life Stealing is going to Dirge. Clutching Umbra is going to Astarion. The Darkfire Shortbow is going to Shadowheart. All this stuff is going to Karlach, who can take it now because she's no longer encumbered. I'm going to go ahead and put the Swordmaster gloves on Cordia right now. So now she is actually proficient with the Faerun, which is lovely. Again, she's not really an up-close fighter. It's more that it's more lore and storytelling. This is a really special item because she's a cleric of Alistairi. It's a singing sword. There's all this like history of it being like attached to the owner. It's really interesting, so go and check that out and read more about that if you want to. I don't want to kind of bore you with it too much. I'm going to put the gloves of archery in her backpack for later. Again, I don't really use her bow and arrow and stuff, but I do like that she's proficient with the Faerun now. This I'll send over to Shadowheart as well. This is going to Dirge, and the arrows and die can also go over to Astarion for now, I think. So yeah, Shadowheart, we'll just go ahead and pop that on her, and the Darkfire Shortbow there as well. I don't really like the colour of this. Maybe I should have used some of that dye for this. I'm going to take the cloak off her for a second, just until we get some dye for it. I don't think I've got any dye handy, but yeah, that's what I've got going on. I need some water. I need to take a breath. Okay, let's look around the grounds of the Last Light Inn a little bit more, because again, there's a couple of things that I want to particularly point out to you in this episode. So down here, do you remember in the last video, like the harpers that we were fighting? And no, we weren't fighting, we were helping them. The guy got dragged into the shadows, he got shadow cursed, the guy that we just took the blade off. And like I said, he is supposed to die. So these three harpers who, like Lysandra that we helped to fight those shadows, they're currently grieving Harper Jonas because, again, he's meant to die. We kind of glitched him out to keep him alive. So we're gonna say that they're lamenting the fact that he has been he's kind of lost his personality, right? He's kind of almost got like PTSD or something, or kind of some kind of amnesia now. He's not the person he was before. So even though he's not dead, we're gonna just tell the story that they're lamenting losing the man and the friend that he was before that happened to him.
Poor Jonas. Kid was as green as they come.
Lysandra?
Thank you for helping us out there. Those shadows would have torn us to bits.
It's okay. Glad to help. It is my duty as a cleric of the light.
He was joking this morning. Jonas, I mean.
So we've got quite a few options here. We're just going to give her time to speak and get off her chest whatever it is that she's saying.
He was always joking. He said it was good for morale, but he just liked seeing people laugh. He was a good harper. A good friend.
Again, like, such beautiful storytelling. Like, he's a random NPC that they designed literally to kill off, but you get this feeling of like he's not just like a random storytelling device. Like, he was important to these other characters. You get the whole sense of community and camaraderie, and like that's beautiful because it's telling the story of like the type of people that the Harpers are as well. They care for each other. They try and make each other laugh in dark situations. So you get this whole like this environmental storytelling, which is We have this option as a cleric. Your prayers will be honoured in his immortal soul, wherever it is. But it doesn't make sense to what we're saying is happening. And I do like the option to kind of give her the sword. I found this sword on his body. Would you like to have it?
Yes, I'd like that. I don't know what to say.
Okay, you can be like, kidding, I'm keeping it. But no, we're going to give her the sword.
He always took such good care of this. I'll do the same. For him. I should thank you. Take this. I think I need some time by myself now.
So we've also got inspiration there for Shadowheart. So it's worth it even if you're just getting the inspiration. Tragic love. So again, wonderful storytelling, learning about the type of people that the Harpers are, and seeing that kind of like, you know, the soldier mentality of like, you know, he was one of us, this is our group, you know. I think it's really, really nicely done. On the other side of this place, so if we go all the way over here to this patch of grass, if I can actually get over here, there's a treasure box that we can dig up. This area is interesting too. Like, obviously there's a lot of things we can loot. Not much that's interesting in any of these, but we will go and check out that basement in a future episode, because that is definitely, that's a whole level in itself.
That might be worth a look.
But here we go. This is what I was looking for. It's so noisy at the last light, and there's so much like dialogue happening in the background. But yeah, little treasure chest here. Not much in it, but glad to find it. And then over here on this kind of bridge at the back of the building is Bex. Now, Bex was, when we first got to Emerald Grove, kind of near where, do you remember the little boy who went and pickpocketed the guy, and the guy got mad at him and we had to kind of intervene, and it was like his mum's locket. That was a whole situation. Kind of up just above where they were, Bex and Danis were kind of planning for the future. They're kind of this young couple, they're in love, they were talking about going to Baldur's Gate and getting a dog, and they were just really cheerful, jokey, like happy, in love people. But yeah, it's just Bex here on her own right now. So let's go and see what this situation is.
Please, I just want to be alone.
I remember you. Bex, right? Where's your man?
Gone. Cultists. It was so dark. I didn't realize until the children started screaming. They rounded us up. Cut us up. Said they were taking whoever could still walk to Moonrise Towers. I managed to get away. But my love, Danis. Martin Dor, Roshan.
So, in the last video, Dirge did come across a group of slaughtered tieflings who were familiar faces from the Emerald Grove. So these are the tiefling refugees who have been trying to make their way to Baldur's Gate and facing horrible odds every corner that they turn around. And you know, we heard this horrible story of like what happened to them and how cruel the Absolute were to them. I cried a little bit, but in that group of bodies we did not find Danis. He was not one of the tieflings that were taken to Moonrise Towers, so there is the possibility that he could be sorry, I don't know what he just said there. There is a possibility that he has been taken to Moonrise Towers, therefore we could possibly save him. How did you manage to get away?
I've always been good at running. Unlike Danis, I didn't realize one day our lives would depend on it. I just wish I could have said goodbye.
Danis could still be alive. Don't give up on him yet.
Do you really think so? By the gods, I hope you're right. I wish I hadn't let go of him.
You did what you had to do. I fixed this thing, but not properly fixed it. I don't know if I need to like super glue it. You may notice that that's reappeared. I don't know where the other one is. I need to look for it. My kid used to swing on them when she was little and she kind of like broke them. And then because I'm disorganized, it's taken me so long to finally fix them. Okay, okay, we've got this cleric option. By the gods, I promise you, I will bring Danis back safely. It's a big promise to make, but we're doing it. It's gonna happen.
It's hard to imagine him making it after everything that happened. But if you find him, it would mean the world to me.
Yeah, we've made a promise there, and I intend on keeping it. Okay, next up on my list of people that I want to talk to, we do need to head in and talk to Jaheira, but do you remember we spotted Barkus, who's the little deep gnome, looking for his friend Wulbren Bongle? We did promise that we would help him and look for him, so let's go and have a chat with him as well. We love him.
I hadn't thought of that.
The best friend you could ever have next to Karlach.
Ah, you found your way. Good.
How did you get here before me? You were just at camp. I told you I'd help rescue Wulbren and the others. This is my first stop.
I haven't forgotten. And as it happens, I was making something to help you on your way.
Oh, lovely.
That is, if you're still going to help Wulbren and the others.
Of course I am.
In that case, you'll be very pleased to learn what I have in store for you. A new type of smoke powder. All the bang and boom of the original, but with an extra surprise. I call it the Brilliant Retort. You'll need it if you're going to survive this cursed place. You'll need it if you're going to get into Moonrise Towers and help the Deep Gnomes taken prisoner there. You'll need it if you're going to save Wulbren.
So sweet. I love him. I don't like any of these options, like Wulbren who? Like, we know who Wulbren is. We promised to save him. We just said we'd save him, so I thought that was your mission. Doesn't make sense. We're not going to say I have more important things to do because that's stupid. So the only option left, which, like, we know this story anyway, but just in case any of you want or need a recap, I guess we'll say, how did the Deep Gnomes get trapped in the towers?
They didn't get trapped. They were kidnapped. Taken against their will by those cultists. If I ever get my hands on one of them... Well, with you on the job, perhaps I won't have to find out. I'll do my part according to my talents. And you, I hope, will do yours. The Brilliant Retort will aid you. Thus, I will make it.
He's a lover, not a fighter, this guy. Anything I can do to help? No, I like the name. What exactly does it do?
Let's not ruin the surprise. You do whatever it is you do. Some of us are counting on you.
He's so funny. Not got the best social skills. He's a little bit awkward, right? But he has a really good heart. He's got good intentions.
Yes, I'm well aware.
Of your own good intentions. There is this cat that we can speak to, but His Majesty, he gives inspiration, and if I look here, currently we're on 4, and I think 4 is the maximum you can get. So should we need inspiration, that is the point that we'll come back and talk to His Majesty. We will talk to him before we leave at some point.
To march, I wager.
But I think it's Jaheira time. It's Jaheira o'clock.
Please. Be welcome. Have a drink.
Thank you.
To your very good health.
What exactly is this? Smell the wine first. Difficulty class of 10. Let's go ahead and just take some guidance. We'll guide ourselves. Guide me, guys. Guide me. This wine smells a bit funny. I don't know if that guy from the Crows in Dragon Age has done something to it, like, but... I might need that inspiration from His Majesty. Roll again. Guys, did you guidance me? Come on, do this at the screen. I need your help. There we go. See the difference your guidance makes. I'm looking very pink right now. I don't know if I want to like adjust my light to the blue light. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Maybe slightly more shadow cursey, I think. Continue. What exactly is in this?
You perceive a faint hint of cloth grass, a herb that is said to elicit the truth. Jaheira smiles at you knowingly.
It doesn't spoil the taste, if that's what you're wondering.
No, but it spoils my trust.
Indulge me.
I'm not always in control of my magic. Who knows what will happen if I drink this?
You will be refreshed. And I will be reassured.
To be fair, she is a truth teller. We know what's in it. We know it's just going to make us speak the truth. But we are still kind of protecting the artifact. We don't know her that well. I drank it. In my first playthrough, I drank it. But I'm going to have her decline to drink.
You don't know what you're missing.
I just wanted the Shadowheart approval, if I'm honest, guys.
Well over a century old, and yet it hasn't lost a hint of flavor. Still not quite so sure about you, though. People tend to lose more than just flavor when illithids get their hands on them. I speak from experience. There's an air about you. Something alien. Answer me true and do not lie. The parasite is changing you, isn't it?
We are going to tell her the truth. We have no reason to lie at this point. It is trying to change us. Me. To win me over. But I am resisting its temptations.
And you're certain you will continue to resist?
I can't promise that. Well, we'll see. We can't lie about that. It puts her in danger.
Good men, good women. Stranded here, 2 feet in the grave. If we're to survive, I have no choice but to trust you. Can I?
What happened to me? I can't hear myself. What happened to me being the godsend you've been praying for?
That was a public display of hope. Despite private reservations. I have every reason to be cautious. I've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here from Baldur's Gate. The cult of the Absolute is spreading through the city. Quietly, quickly, and with unsettling deliberation. We tracked them to this ancient village, only to be faced with a man we killed and buried over a century ago.
Ketheric Thorm? Who is he?
General Ketheric Thorm. Remember that name?
I do.
He's the leader of the Absolutists. He was a Sharan once. Took to building an army of dark justiciars beneath this very village.
Shadowheart.
Alongside the local druids, we made it our business to see him deposed, dead and buried. But he's returned. Not only does General Ketheric Thorm live again, it seems he is no longer mortal. He has become, in fact, invincible.
But how?
We met him on the road here. Commanding an army of the Absolute, intent on destroying Baldur's Gate.
No.
I put an arrow through his eye myself, only to watch him pluck it out like a splinter. He healed right in front of me and chased us into the shadows. Things looked hopeless, but experience has taught me that no matter how bleak things look, there's always hope. You are that hope.
Well, placing a lot of responsibility on a stranger there. Look at Gale, he's just like... Invincibility, that's powerful magic. Thankfully, I have my own. I like this option because she just said you are that hope. Hope is my speciality. How can I help?
Protected by your artifact, you can infiltrate his forces at Moonrise Towers, posing as a true soul. Find out what it is that makes him invincible, so we can strip him of his advantage. Once Getherick is without his shield, the sword. Together, we assault his tower and put a final end to this blight.
Again, like I'm not super keen on any of these options. We are doing this. I don't know why this doesn't sound right to me in like regards to what she just said. I think Cordia wouldn't necessarily be like Getherick's days are numbered, because she'd be like, maybe we can talk to him, maybe we can negotiate our way out of this. Like, she is a bit naive in that way. But I think I'm gonna go for, in a jokey way, seems like I'll be doing most of the heavy lifting.
You're the only one who can get inside the towers. You were born for this mission. Or made for it, rather. Besides, you need this. You need to heal yourself of your infection.
True.
Any cure starts with understanding the disease. Whatever magic Getherick's using to control these tadpoles, it must be at moonrise. Until then, we keep drinking wine when we meet.
I love her. She's so cool. I love Jaheira. Again, she's from like the previous Baldur's Gate games. She's like a reoccurring character. Yeah, big fan of Jaheira. So the story then, what we're understanding is the absolute of the Illithids. The tadpole is meant to be turning us into Illithids, but for somehow this kind of like Sharan cult that's centuries old, run by General Getherick Thorm, is somehow modifying. Like, we knew this from like the one that Halsin was like experimenting on, that these tadpoles have been modified. They're not the usual Illithid tadpoles. Somehow this modification means that we're in this kind of like suspended status of I don't know, controlled potential Illithids. And we know as well from the Dream Guardian, she said that the order for us to change has been given so many times already, and she's blocking that. So I don't know quite who to believe at this point, but that's kind of the gist of what we're understanding. How do I reach him? The towers are surrounded by shadows.
You're not our only secret weapon. Isobel, a faithful cleric of Selûne, and a light in the darkness. She cast the moon shield around the inn. It's the only reason we're still alive. She's upstairs in her chambers. Tell her I sent you, and she'll see you through the shadows safely.
Okay, so again, I'm kind of jumping through hoops because I want to tell the story in a specific order. When we talk to Isabel, an event happens. So if you're playing along, I recommend not talking to Isabel yet. Like, wait, hold off from talking to Isabel, because things change when you talk to her. So Dirge had a reason to not talk to her, because he was like, well, I've been tasked with assassinating her and I don't want to do that, so I'm going to go off and like talk to this Drider guy and see if I can like get through the shadows using his magic lantern. Cordia and Shadowheart would definitely be like, let's go and talk to this Selûnite cleric. Like, Shadowheart aggressively, probably.
Don't be shy. Have a gander.
So I'm going to
at the
say
finest.
that they get a little bit distracted. So they are fully intending on going upstairs and talking to Isabel. When they see something, they notice something. I'm going to say Gale notices it. His wizard sense tingles. Roland has gone, his chair's empty, and there's this projection of Roland over here.
Let's see.
So we want to see what this is.
Leah, Cal, if you see this, stay put. I will return in a 10-day at most. I repeat, stay put.
You need help to survive those shadows. Only a fool would face them alone.
So basically Roland, drunk out of his mind, if you remember from the last episode, feels like he's responsible for his brother and sister. I think the brother and sister, I'm not sure if they're friends or like siblings, but he feels responsible for Cal and Leah being taken, presumably to Moonrise Towers because we didn't find their bodies. On that note, actually, I got really confused in editing because I was like, where's Arca? Like her brother, we picked her brother up. I think he's called Memnos, but like I was like, where's Arca? Because she's not here. And I looked it up because I was like, I don't know what actually happens to Arca. Really, really sadly, her story is, so do you remember she's the one who was going to shoot Sazza because she was angry at the goblins because the goblins had killed, I think, her friend or her brother. And so we kind of intervened and said, that's not the right thing to do. And we calmed her down and we stopped her from hurting Sazza. So after that scene, she actually goes out to the goblin camp. You can find her on the cliffs of the goblin camp. And I assume she was going to go and try and like shoot some of the goblins, but unfortunately you do find her dead. And I don't know if there's any way to save her. I did go back to Act 1 in between episodes and I went and recovered her body. So we have her body and I'll put in a bit of like the footage as I'm talking about this to show you kind of like where I found her. But yeah, I didn't know that and I kind of went on a bit of a side mission to go and see what happened to Arca. So really, really sad end for her. Like her need for vengeance took her out onto those cliffs and it didn't work out for her. So like I say, Claudia would be like, oh my goodness, Roland, drunk out of his mind, has gone out into the Shadow Curse lands on his own to try and go to Moonrise Towers to go and see Leah and Cal and try and rescue them. He is going to get into a lot of trouble. We need to go and find him and kind of help him. So she's going to head out to Moonrise Towers. But before we do,
have a gander,
because I did say that we needed to get that inspiration back, let's go and talk to His Majesty because I want to do this basically.
Hiss! I say hiss!
Easy, kitty. I mean you no harm.
And yet you harm me by your very presence. This is my territory, and you're in it.
My intentions are pure. I only wanted to admire you up close.
I'll allow it.
Quietly admire the cat.
You've had enough, now go. Quickly, hiss!
I think you can get approval from like Astarion from doing this, but I haven't managed to get it myself. Quite the specimen you are. How did you come to this place? She knows how to lay it on thick, Claudia. She knows how to like talk up people.
I slinked, of course.
You seem like someone who knows what he's about. Have you heard anything interesting around here?
Good of you to notice. For my part, I have noticed the cleric is a liar. She promised me a bit of milk.
Oh.
Do you see any milk, do you? Nor do I. Disgraceful.
She is very busy keeping everybody alive and keeping the light dome up over this place. So maybe I can find you some milk. I don't know if you can find milk for His Majesty. Let me know if that's a thing. I would love to feed His Majesty milk. Let me know in the comments if that's possible. But there you go. We've got the, because I'm a noble, I've got the noble background. We've got noble feline. Feline. So yeah, Claudia is also about to head out into the darkness then and follow Dirge to go and look for Roland at this point. However, we're going to send her back to camp. Okay, so I'm back at camp currently. I'm just going to kind of prep everybody, but just imagine that Dirge and everybody are currently traveling through the Shadow Curse lands looking for this Drider again. But yeah, equipment check. So Dirge is going to have, well, we need a light. We need a light to actually get there. So I'm going to equip his torch. We can actually put that in his offhand. So if I might have to do a little bit of like jumping around here. If I take that shield out of his inventory and I put this in his main hand, I'm pretty sure we can equip the torch in his offhand. There we go. So I still have his new sword, the Sword of Life Stealing, in his main hand, which is perfect for him. And then he can still carry that light and not get attacked by the shadows. I'm also going to go ahead and give Astarion his sword and light. So equip the light, and then if we swap those over and then put his new sword in his main hand, there we go. I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do with him for the time being. Actually, yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that. Car back then, she gets all this new equipment. Again, I can't put this on her. She's not currently proficient with heavy armor. Not too sad about her having Hellcrawler for a little bit longer. But again, as soon as we get heavy armor for her, that'll be definitely going on her. We can put the Flawed Helldusk, let me move this over, the Flawed Helldusk helmet on her, which again gives her a +2 to saving throws and a Constitution saving throws +1, which is a little bit better than the Haste Helm. Should we have a look at what that looks like? There we go. Let's hide it during dialogue checks and keep it for kind of running around. It looks so fun. And then the Helldusk gloves as well. I really do like the Astral Plate gloves. Whenever you get a critical hit, you deal 1d4 of force damage. But the Helldusk stuff is just so good for her. It also gives her advantage on melee attacks when surrounded by 2 or more foes. I might keep that on her just for this episode. And when we actually get the Helldusk, the heavy armor proficiency, then we'll put like the whole set on her. But yeah, that's kind of what she's got going on there. Lae'zel hasn't got anything new, so all sorted. Let's head out into the shadows then. We'll go to the shadowed battlefield and just say that he's had a bit of a head start. He's making his way through those ruined battlefield, the ruined battlefield. So we need to retrace our steps a little bit here and find our way back to the Dryder. I'm going to stick close to the left for reasons that will become clear later. This is that kind of like abandoned building that we haven't explored yet, but again, we're going to keep on task and go up here. So I think this is where, yeah, I can see the light from the moon lantern up ahead. There. What have we walked into here? What is going on? Oh, he's shadow cursed? Oh no, the shadow's got one of the goblins. Let's stay out of this and let's just observe. There he is. He's down. The battle is over. One of them has summoned a warg. Okay, I don't know if we want to just like let them pick themselves off. It makes our job a little bit easier if we do get into a fight with him. Again, Dirge is considering just killing them all and taking that moon lantern for himself. But again, maybe having a way, because they believe that we're true souls and we're like part of the absolute. So maybe just walking straight in the front door is not the worst idea possible. Let's get on with this.
Are they ready, Majesty? Shall we depart?
Yes. Let's go. It's time.
They must follow close, Majesty. They must not leave the light.
Again, I love the design of Karnas, the character of him. Such a great, interesting character. I'm actually, because we're using his light, I think I'm going to go ahead and swap out Dirge's offhand weapon for the Knife of the Undermountain King. So we can just kind of stay over here and stay in his light. I actually want to be on his right side, I think. He's getting very grouchy with us when we're not keeping up. Look.
Come back! They must stay in the light, Majesty. They must keep up. The shadows are hungry.
Ain't all got 10 legs.
Astarion, what are you doing? Astarion's not got his weapon out anymore. It's fine. Let's give him the Club of Giant Hill Strength back. He's using their light. It's fine. Bless us with patience. He's so funny.
The gods are watching me.
Turn to the light. Do not stray.
want to die in the dark. They leave us again. Very well, my queen. We will wait.
He does not love his job.
Come back!
I smell a trap.
They must. Return to the light. Do not stray.
Harpers. The Harpers are ambushing him.
To die in the dark, Majesty? Wait. Something's wrong, Majesty. Who's there? Show yourself! Harpers, attack! Kill the cultists and get that lantern! Heretics! Villains in the dark!
These Harpers are clearly enemies of the Absolute. They could be worthwhile allies. But defend the guide and you may preserve your cover as a true soul.
Okay, so this is a really fun interaction. So like I say, there's two ways into this area. I have never done it this way until this playthrough. What I normally do is I go in via the Underdark, the way that Cordia and Gale and everybody came in, I meet the Harpers who are getting Shadow Curse, so Harper Lysandra, like we did in the last video. Follow them to Last Light, and if you do it that way, they are kind of at the gate waiting to go back out.
Say the word, and we set the ambush in motion. Splendid. I'll mark your map should you lose the way. Harper's with me. Stray no more than an arm's length from your course.
Cleric's magic won't hold out the darkness forever.
And you join them in the ambush, so you actually go with the Harpers and like wait for the Drider to come down, so you can do it from 2 points of view, which is really interesting to me. So yeah, I've never done it this way where we are the ones that get ambushed, but we have the opportunity to switch sides, which honestly, if I'd have been able to do it, which I couldn't find a way to do it in this playthrough, I would have preferred to be part of the ambush than be the ambushee. Having said that, what Cordia would have done would have been to talk to Karnis, convince him to give her the moon lantern and carry on walking into the darkness, which is a very, very evil thing for her to have done.
To your church every day, my queen. Your followers are legion.
Go. We'll wait for your signal.
Your faithful stand ready, Majesty. Soon we march. Soon the world will bow to you.
Here, we're boss. Something moved up there. Want me to drag it out?
What's this?
The Drider's eyes cut through the darkness, locking on you as your parasite squirms with excitement. Your minds connect, and you hear a voice whispering to you. The Absolute, or just the echoes of his fractured mind reverberating in the darkness.
One of your true souls, my queen. How have they survived? You bless them too, my queen. Where is their lantern? Majesty, is this true? Did I not serve you well? Very well. If it is your will, we can have it!
What do you mean, go?
We can't go without you. The shadows would tear us to pieces.
This is not Her Majesty's will! If it is Her Majesty's will...
You can't be serious. You know what's out there.
If it is Her Majesty's will, then we shall walk! She will protect us. She must.
So actually it kind of works out a little bit better this way, because now Dirge has a chance to attack the Dryder, which kind of honestly he wanted to do the entire time, and he's not going to fight the Harpers. The Harpers are friends, not food. Yeah, we are gonna turn on the caravan and attack the driver. We're teaming up with the Harpers right now.
What are they doing?
Carl,
we thought they were true souls! Traitors! Heathens! Drive them into the dark! Do not let them take our life!
He missed? Okay, we're good. Okay, so when I was testing, he got quite a few shots on Dirge and took away most of his hit points, but he missed that time, so this is perfect. Okay, so you can see at the top here, Karnis did get to go first. Unfortunately, he has sanctuaried himself, so we can't hit him this turn. The sanctuary only lasts one turn though, so we'll be able to hit him on the next turn. What we can do though is in this turn, hopefully, because we do have Lae'zel, Astarion and Dirge taking turns before anyone else gets a turn, we can start to take out some of the rest of the caravan and try and hopefully keep these Harpers alive. I might save. Okay, so the first person to get a turn then is this person highlighting in the center of the screen. So we'll try and take him out first. We can, I'm just gonna go ahead and, do we want a Soul Breaker? How many hit points does he have? Can we one-shot him? We can definitely try. One shot. Lae'zel is really coming online, guys, as well now. She does so much damage. Now, because we one-shot him, I think we crit him, we now get the Great Weapon Master bonus attack as a bonus action, which deals a ton of damage, and we can go for whoever is next up. Is this person here? Let's try and get them. Okay, decent amount of damage. I reckon we can finish them off with like a normal swing of our sword. She absolutely clears up. She's just clearing the battlefield. Okay, next up is this guy, Beddy. I am going to go ahead and action surge. He does have kind of a nasty looking axe there, so I reckon we attempt to disarm him with a melee attack. Also does an extra 1d8 of damage, so... Weapon drop, critical hit, amazing job. Where is his weapon? There it is, the hand axe.
My pick.
Oh! Okay, I guess she moved out. Okay, I guess I'll leave that then. But at least he only punched her for, what was that, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 hit points. Wow, he actually punches pretty hard. Let's try and take him out with a normal attack. Shouldn't have punched her. Should never have punched her. So there you go. Lae'zel took out 3. 3 of them. all in her turn. I would love to get over to the Drider and just kind of like square off with him, but it would provoke an opportunity attack from Kansif, who was the like leader of the caravan before Karnis came along. So anyway, she has done her job for Queen and Country. So yeah, end turn, and let's see what Astarion can do. Astarion then, let's go ahead. Do you know what I didn't do as well with Lae'zel? I'm kind of glad because we wouldn't have had that great weapon attack. She gets a bonus. I think it's like, what is it? She gets something when she's concentrating. When concentrating on a spell, the wearer weapon attacks deal an additional 1d4 psychic damage. And she could have used her bonus action to use Hunter's Mark, which is a concentration spell. So as long as she has Hunter's Mark enabled, she gets that extra damage on her attacks. Didn't need it. She absolutely cleared up, but good to know that that's an option. Astarion then, I think, yeah, we're going to go ahead and bonus action Hunter's Mark on Kansif. And I hope that we can take him out with a ranged sneak attack. 95%, let's go. Half his hit points have gone there, 22. If that had been a critical hit, that would have took him out. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's go ahead and use our Flourish, try and get him off balance. Brilliant, he's off balance now, perfect. I'm gonna move him up and out of range of Karnis a little bit. Okay, next up, Dirge. Unfortunately, even though we're squaring up with Karnis, we can't do much from here. So, sneak attack on Kansif, can we take him out? Do you know what? I'm going to bonus action Crawler Mucus. So if I don't take him out, at least he might be paralyzed. And fingers crossed we can also paralyze Karnis and stop him from doing too much damage to the Harpers on our next turn. Yeah, it didn't quite take him out, unfortunately. 4 hit points remaining. Hopefully one of the Harpers can pick him off. But yeah, that was decent. I'll take that for a first round. Okay, what have you got, guys?
Shadow, nor death.
I wish he hadn't ran closer because I don't want Karnis to get shots on him. Ideally, I want to keep all the Harpers alive. There we go. Hunt completed. Good job.
Guard against the darkness.
They've got that blessing because they're Harpers from the Last Light Inn, so they've got Isabel's blessing, which is protecting them from the darkness and means that they don't have to constantly carry light weapons. Okay, so there's not much that Karlach can do here, to be honest. My tummy's rumbling a little bit. Other than get close to him because he's still sanctuaried. So, I mean, I could throw something that would do... Like, maybe I could potentially throw smoke powder bomb at him. Let's go ahead and hang on. I might have to get it out of my backpack. We have those Orthon bombs, but I don't know how much. I'm a little bit nervous about how much exact damage this would do. So maybe it's not a good idea. I might just hold off. I might just hold my ground. Actually, do you know what? Let's run up in between this Harper, who I don't want to get hurt, Harper Branthos, and Karnis. Let's try and take some of the hits because she is pretty tough. In fact, as our bonus action, we can start raging. So we can take a little bit more damage from him. Okay, let's go. What have you got, Karnis? You went for Lae'zel. I mean, that does make sense. She was like the fiercest warrior on the battlefield, but she gets a turn on him now. Like, big mistakes were made here, dude. Listen, she's gonna lacerate you and make you bleed. Nice. Like I say, we could deal her extra damage, but she has also got Flurry of Blows. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with what I'm doing here. Go ahead and, I guess, cleave him as well. You might as well. Good job. Flurry of Blows. Critical hit. Good job. She took, what, like 44 hit points off him? So that is pretty decent. Okay, next up. I'm hoping we can get him out in this round. I think he has got things like Bane. Up to 3 creatures receive a 1d4 penalty. Let me just use Dirge first. And let me see if... I can if I can crawler mucus him, because if I can crawler mucus him, he becomes paralyzed on his next turn. He is stricken with crawler mucus. Okay, let me show you what this does then. Affected entity is poisoned and paralyzed. He is incapacitated. We've got this. We've got this, guys. Whatever happens, like, I am pretty sure. Let's go ahead and flourish. Yeah, critical hits. Look at that. He can't even defend himself right now. I feel a bit bad for him, honestly. My eldest loves Karnas. Like, she thinks he's baby girl to her. I am not quite as much of a fan. Sorry, the camera angles are getting a bit janky here. Can we sneak attack? We can indeed. 80% chance with advantage. He lost off balance, but he's still stricken with crawler mucus. Yeah, we're doing pretty well here, guys. I mean, do you want to bite him? Do you want to see what a spider tastes like, Historian? You might as well. Although I hope he doesn't also get stricken with crawler mucus. I should have thought of that. Like, don't eat poison food, guys. He's fine. Come on, Harpers. Critical hit, sweet. It was only like 7 damage, but nice try. Hunter's Mark. Missed. Dude. He's literally a sitting duck right now. Or a sitting spider, I guess. They did alright. They did alright. Let's see if Karlach can finish him. So 67 hit points. Can she do it? Let's try. I don't know why she's running right the way around, but critical hit for, what was that, 22 add 8? 30 damage? Let's go again. 5 hit points remaining. I don't even need to use my action surge.
Incredible.
He's down.
A light so radiant not even the curse can dim it.
The lantern flickers ever so briefly, and you hear a slight twitter. Or perhaps it's simply your imagination.
Jaheira's godsend. Such strange company you keep. Explain yourself.
He's like, why is it a Dragonborn, a Githyanki, a Tiefling? Which actually, to be fair, they'd probably be fine with the Tieflings, and a vampire. I do keep strange company. This is true. They're both deception checks. He's pretty decent at deception. I think I like this one better. I meant, because it's actually true. It's not even deception. I meant to infiltrate the cult. You've ruined the mission. Okay, what can I do here? Let's take the Bardic Inspiration. It's a 16. Guidance me, guys. I can't guidance because Astorian's got both bonuses and the Bardic Inspiration is slightly better, but you guys can guidance me. My tummy's rumbling in nerves. I think we've done it. Yeah, we did it. We're okay. I don't want the Harpers to be mad at me.
Then I can only apologize. I was not aware of this mission. The lantern is yours. Jaheira's orders. Take it, and it will guide you to the towers. But remember, you don't just fight shadows. You fight what hides inside.
Set me free.
Hello? Who is that? Okay. So, we can speak with the dead on Karnas. This is why he's glowy. But unfortunately, he's not going to speak to George. I don't think.
The corpse seems willing to speak, but not to its killer.
Yeah. So, I guess Cordy is going to come and meet us over here. Now that we have the Moon Lantern and a way to get through the darkness, we can go to Moonrise Towers. And she is actually heading this way anyway. So, before we switch back to Cordia, we're just going to have to put up with the noise of the
bones,
speaking
weapons. A great battle was fought here.
Won't you help me?
An extra vicious one, I think. No one buried their dead.
Exactly the sort of battle I live to fight. And the sort made even more thrilling with a hot-hearted tiefling at my side.
hot-hearted tiefling at my side. That is cute. Little bit of flirt. Shush. Listen, Moon Lantern. Stop talking to me. I've got a mission to do here. I could equip the Moon Lantern. I don't really want to touch it just yet for reasons. But just equip that. And I guess for the time being, also equip this. There we go. Like I say, they're just gonna have a quick look around while they wait for Cordia to catch up. I think, is there something around here somewhere? Yeah, there's like a little thing here.
Need to find
I can exit turn-based mode. There we go. Just ignore the shouting and screaming, guys. Listen, it's basically the noises that Dirge always has in his head. Yeah, guidance me. I'm so sorry about my tummy rumbling. A little bit of stuff in this treasure chest. There's also, we can now go in here and start exploring in here. Oh, do you know what I didn't do? I didn't loot the bodies. Loot that body. So we've got the Cruel Sting, which gives ensnaring strands. Sting the helpless. A drow elf wearing this weapon deals an additional 1d4 poison damage against restrained targets. So maybe we'll go ahead and send that over to Cordia because she can use longswords now. What else does he have? Some general stuff, some arrows. What's this? The Thermo-Arcanic Gloves. Arcane Ashes. When you deal fire damage, you gain 2 turns of heat. I might send those over to Will, possibly, because as Carlite does fire damage, but I do like the Helldust gloves on her, so I don't know if she'd actually end up using them. And then, yeah, let's head in here. Because there's something over here.
Let's see.
Me oh my, oh my oh me.
Let's just jump up here. Again, there's a lot of stuff to check, but I think it gets boring if I'm just like checking every single chest on camera. I do know from experience, I don't think there's anything interesting in here. Off camera, I'll loot everything at some point, and if I do find anything interesting, I'll let you guys know. But just assume if I'm not looting these things, there's probably nothing important in them. And it'll just be like camp supplies and like weapons and water and things like that. I am sorry if you can hear my tummy rumbling. I don't know why it's rumbling. I've had some sourdough. We've got the Hammer Grim Mist Amulet with Fog Cloud. One of the deep... what does that say? Whereas rebellious children, drugging the keykeeper of... Whatever that says. Okay, interesting. I might give that someone like Astarion. I like the idea of him being able to like create a fog cloud. Shush! Shush, please. And yeah, I think we're just gonna maybe have a quick short rest.
That should more than suffice.
And then we're just gonna keep looking around kind of while we're waiting for Cordia and everybody to catch up. Yeah, they should be over here soon. So let's keep exploring. They're probably gonna come from this direction. Shush, please. I'll set you free when Cordia gets here. This feels like a job for Cordia, basically. Let's crouch.
I just want to me.
Again, maybe I just want to... Maybe I just want to just be cautious right now for reasons that will become clear later. What just happened? I don't think they're shadow cursed, right? Oh, they were shadow cursed. Oops. Why are they shadow cursed? They've got light.
Keep it together.
Why are they shadow cursed? What's happening? I'm gonna send them back to camp. I can't send them back to camp. Why not? Wait, what's happening? Wait. Are they about to die? Go in turn-based mode. What's happening right now? What is happening? What on earth? Are they all shadow cursed?
Won't you help me? Set me
They're all
free.
shadow cursed. I don't know what just happened. That shouldn't have happened because they lit up. Oh my god, that is terrifying. I am going to reload that save. That was not the plan, guys. That was not the plan. I don't know what happened. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I think I'm going to send Dirge back to camp and maybe he's going to not explore for a second. Things went a little bit wrong. Okay, let's go and see what's going on with this moon lantern. Let's go back to camp. So just presume that Claudia gets the moon lantern when she reaches and catches up with Dirge, but again, just because I'm paranoid that they're gonna talk amongst themselves, like, I'm doing it this way. Shush, listen. Claudia goes and catches up with Dirge, is what I'm saying. Yeah, let's do it this way. I don't know. Everything's got a bit weird, so I am going to go ahead and grab the moon lantern and drop it into Claudia's inventory.
The lantern gives off a chilly glow, protecting all in its vicinity from the surrounding shadows. You notice a tiny pixie trapped within.
Oh, please. Oh, golly me, oh my. You must release me or I'll die. This lantern only lights the way when I am hurting night and day.
You poor thing. Why would someone hurt you so?
My pixie dust is bright as day. My injuries can light the way.
It seems like a fitting punishment for a poet.
Oh, Astarion, behave. You were used for the magic within you. Disgusting.
Dolly thanks you for your sympathy. Now, sorcerer, kindly set me free.
How do I do that? What's this mechanism at the base of the lantern? Will that set you free?
I dare not name it, newfound friend. The faintest touch could spell my end.
Okay, what if I release the pixie? Approval and disapproval?
Finally! Been trapped in that coffin with no one but a mad rider and my own farts for company.
Did me a good turn there, didn't you? What do I owe you?
I need to get through this shadow curse. Can you help?
Sure I can, but will I? Yeah, sure, why not? Here, give this bell a shake. Speak the magic words and you'll get what you've earned. Protection from the shadow curse. What more could a dingus want? You're welcome.
Bye.
Curious little thing.
Yeah, so pixies are kind of like tricksters.
Not what I expected to run into in a place like this.
The pixies are from the Feywild, and they definitely have their own set of rules. Anything that's like Fey definitely has their own morality going on. It's not the same as kind of like regular human morality. The Feywilds are a very, very quirky place, and so the pixies and the fairies definitely go by their own rules. But you know, she liked us well enough to give us her pixie blessing, which we all have now. So if I kind of go down here on Astarion, pixie blessing. The shadow curse cannot affect this creature thanks to a pixie's protective magic, and this is permanent as well. This is a permanent buff, I believe. So we're going to be absolutely fine in the shadow curse now. We don't have to carry torches around anymore. It's actually, I believe, stronger than the Seluna blessing that we can get from Isabel. So it's not a big deal that we didn't go and see Isabel, because the pixie blessing is the best. We also do have this little bell, so just in case there's any bugs or glitches that remove the pixie blessing from us, we can just ring the bell and it'll reapply it. But yeah, that's kind of like a fail safe, I think. So yeah, really, really cool. We can just kind of travel around the Shadow Curse lands a little bit more freely now. Dirge and Astarion can have their proper weapons out, which reassures me because I don't know what just happened, but it wasn't good. yeah, we don't have to worry about getting shadow cursed anymore, thankfully. I might just go ahead and use that as his offhand weapon, and we won't worry about his strength too much. Okay, so what I was saying was, if I have Dirge head back out, I'm going to have him just go to the waypoint so I don't drag everybody out of camp. While he was hypothetically waiting for Cordia to get over there, he's kind of clearing this area a little bit. And so let's go back to where I just was and see what's going on with that place. So, yeah, you can see now that we don't get bothered by the shadow curse at all anymore with that lovely pixie's blessing. But there was that interesting looking supply shed out the back, and I think Dirge's spidey sense, his dragon sense, would be tingling, but he's also thinking, huh, maybe there could be something useful in there. We should take a look. But I'm gonna hide and just kind of creep closer to this place. Yeah, seems like another prime spot for an ambush, huh?
That's curious.
What is this? A movable brick. Interesting. We're hiding from something. I guess we all failed this perception check, so I guess we just look at this brick then? What could possibly go wrong? Oh, a Potter's chest key. Nice. I'm a little bit nervous because I know what's in here, even if they can't see it. Hiding successful. Is anyone in initiative by any chance yet? Lizelle, why don't you like walk forward? I'm so sad they got the jump on us. I wanted. Oh no. These measles are so horrible. Basically, they garrot you, and then on the next turn they'll teleport you. So like they're basically dividing us up. They're splitting us up from the rest of the team. They're so horrible. They absolutely like took me for a ride the first time I encountered these guys. Okay, so I think we have all found ourselves garroted, unfortunately. So we definitely need to try and take these guys out. Yeah, let's go ahead and I feel like we should probably deal with whoever's first. So this one, it does provoke an attack of opportunity, unfortunately. This is why I short rested. I wanted the action surge back. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see if we can trip attack this guy. I don't know what's better, trip attack or disarming attack, because are they technically armed? I am going, do you know what? I want to do Hunter's Mark. I can't do Hunter's Mark until long rest. No, okay, fine. Trip attack. I wanted that concentration. She missed. Okay. In that case, disarming attack. Must have a yeah, he isn't considered having a weapon. Let's soul break that. There we go. Right, no longer garroted. And that does mean I can run up here without getting an opportunity attack and help out. Who's this one? This one's got a hold of a Starian. So let's action surge. And let's, again, we'll try and go in with another trip attack. It is at disadvantage, unfortunately. Yeah, missed. Damn it. I guess we try again. Oh no, I wish I had Hunter's Mark right now. Punch. We've damaged him a little bit, but it's not enough to stop him. Oh no, okay. Astarian, mate. I can't, can I not Misty Step? Because he's silenced. Oh no, because he's, oh. Okay, let's try. We've also got like trip attack and stuff. Can I sneak attack? I can sneak attack. Oh, and I've also got, because I've got the shadow soaked below. This is from his new sword that I bought, the sort of thingy umbra or whatever it's called. Strike an energy. Okay, let's try and do that. Critical hit, look at that. And we can add sneak attack. Is he down? Oh, so close. 7 hit points remaining. Okay, use your bonus action to bite him. No, actually, yeah, just go ahead and bite him. That'll heal him as well. There we go. He's down. Okay, who is next? Which one's next? This one. Okay, Astarion. Get over here and try and flourish. Does that remove stunned though? I don't care. Do it.
Different.
Off balance. He's also off balance. He's still stunned. Okay, move to one side so you're not blocking anyone else coming in. He is going to get a turn. He missed his turn because he's stunned. Okay, perfect. Who is next? So we've got these two next. Who actually has hold of Dirge? This one. Okay, mate. You chose poorly. What I could do is this, which would get both of them. It's not going to do a huge amount of damage. I really want to do as much damage as possible with these guys. Measles. Okay. This gives me an additional action. If I use my Bloodlust, which I think, to be fair, he would be angry. Drink to enter a Bloodlust. Let's do it. And I think he gets an additional action. So, let's try sneak attack this guy. There we go. Double critical hit. I have not got an additional action. I don't understand what that meant in that case. But we did a bit of damage. That's not too bad. He is going to teleport me now, unfortunately. Yeah, look at that. Away from my friends. And I guess he missed when he tried to get Karlach. So, yeah, I'm going to send in that case. Because I think Dirge needs more help than these guys. So, where did he go? Where did he get taken? Over there. This is the difficult thing with these guys. Because they do, like, move you away from your friends. That one goes first, though. There's 3 left? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go and help out Dirge because I don't want him to do this on his own. So I'm going to use... Having said that, she's got action surge, so she gets more actions.
Let's go.
Dirge, you're on your own for a second. Sorry, mate. Let's go for these guys. Okay. Sorry. A lot of decision making there. Let's go ahead and... Legacy of Avernus, Branding Smite. Whoever has the most hit points, this one. Actually, yeah, this one.
Well, well.
Nice. That was okay. That was reasonable. Okay, let's go in with... just a normal attack. Decent. Okay. Action surge. And we're just going to keep whacking this guy. Missed. Tenacity. Go for it. One more try. Let's try and take him out if we can. Nice. Good job, Karlach. Okay, what I want you to do is start heading towards Dirge.
Aye, aye.
So he's not on his own. I imagine Cordia and her team pulling up and being like, what is happening? Like, how did you get into a fight? You were meant to be sneaking into Moonrise. Okay, Lae'zel, can we take out this other guy? Let's try our main hand attack on him. Oh, that was decent. How much damage did she do then? 20... 2 and 6. Okay. I thought she did 60 damage then. Did you guys see that? Oh look, for her bonus action she can Great Weapon Master. Perfect. He's down. Okay, so it's just the one with Dirge. Okay, Dirge, we are coming to our your rescue. And the good thing is she can actually still has an attack and she can use like her bow and arrow. Okay, let's get a little bit closer. Come over here so that we don't have disadvantage. She's still got disadvantage. It's fine. Let's try it. 32 hit points. And she took at least half of that away. Amazing. Okay, Astarion, could you also get over to Dirge and help him out a little bit here? Can you Misty Step? You can. Okay, perfect. Can you Misty Step on this side of him? You can.
Magnificent.
Alright, nice. I know he could have used his bow and arrow, but Let's go in with a sneak attack. Done it. Yay! Sweet! Perfect! Okay, they are looking a little bit rough after that. So I think what I'm going to do is, well, we're going to loot the bodies. We don't want the ropes. You can keep the ropes. They're such horrible characters. These are the worst. These are awful, honestly. Yeah, let's short rest. There we go.
Enough time wasted. Battle awaits.
Lae'zel is ready for more. She's like, listen, I got my action surge back. Let's go. Action surge is so OP, especially when you have like multiple attacks. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's not a huge amount in here, but if you come out the back way, up here, there's another chest, and this is what we got the key for, the key out of the brick. So we can just open this one. And it does give us luminous gloves, which I think I'm going to give to Shadowheart. We could also give them to Will. When the wearer deals radiant damage, the target receives 2 turns of radiant orb. I think this basically stops people going invisible. The affected entity has a -1 to attack rolls for each remaining turn. It also sheds a bright light in an area surrounding it, and reduce the duration of by 2 turns each time the entity makes an attack. So yeah, we'll go ahead and send that to Shadowheart. There's also an idol of Selûne, which I guess we'll send to Cordia. I think she actually already has one. And a note. The note says, again, before this town was overrode by the Shah cult, they were worshippers of Selûne. Selûne is the Moon Maiden. Moon Maiden, protect those of us who would not turn from you, no matter the consequences in this short life. So again, the idea of like when you pass away, your goddess should come and claim you. Keep these artifacts of our devotion until such a time as we may openly infuse our spirits with your white light once more. Grant cunning to my brother Halfred in his efforts to conceal the rest of your relics. Interesting. A treasure hunt time. Let the last light not be a portent. Let your moon glow continue forever and fill our hearts. Maybe there's more stuff hidden at last light. Investigate the Selûnite resistance. Yeah, I'm actually not sure what that is. Where is that? Investigate the Selûnite resistance. It looks like there was a burgeoning Selûnite resistance to Shah control of the region 100 years ago. We should further investigate the last light in. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know that Isabel is a cleric of Selûne, but we haven't spoken to her yet. That's interesting. Right, so if we go out of this kind of like side entrance back here as well, do you remember we had that thing about you know, the Raven guy, and he was like interrogating that body, and he was like, this woman betrayed her friends. We might find out a little bit more about that down here as well. So this is like deeper into the Shadow Curse lands here. Like this is like deep in the shadows. So basically, if we'd have gone in there with our torches, the torches would have just gone out. Like the light cannot remain once you get past that like double curtain of darkness. But this little old mill here, luckily Dirge did pass the check to see this tripwire, so we're gonna go ahead and disarm this. Might have been a good idea to use Astarion, but I'm using Dirge because whatever. YOLO. Give me guidance, guys. Yeah, we did it. Easy peasy. There we go. So we've disabled the trap. And if we go in here, we can find out a little bit about what happened. So you can see, it looks like whoever this was, this skeleton, was on this chair and they were chained to the chair. And I think they might have been getting interrogated. So here we can read the notes. Harper interrogation transcript. Official interrogation transcript. Harper in charge. Callie Dove Everspring. Transcriber Luna Shawn. Your name. Dull timberman. Occupation. Farmer man. Potatoes. A farmer. How many guards has Thorn stationed at the south wall, Dull Timber? So these are the Harpers investigating Ketheric Thorn. Oh, I didn't realise that until now. What do you mean south wall? Do not play the fool with me, Timber. The Moonrise south wall. I don't know, I swear it. Liar. Write this down, Luna. Thornspire refuses to cooperate. Harsher measures required. I said, write it down. So clearly Luna hesitated. Clearly Calidove was a little bit more brutal with her methods. Whether this guy knew or not what was going on, I don't know. He might have been completely innocent, but whether he cooperated or not, the outcome was that he was unfortunately killed, I guess, by a Harper. I mean, it could have been a double agent because we do know that the...
Speak your mind. I'm listening.
It's all right, actually. I wasn't planning on talking to you. I was just trying to pick something up. Yeah, we do know that the Sharons have interrogation methods. Shadowheart talked about this like the first time we met Raphael. So, I don't know. Dark stuff happened here, guys. Even with the good guys, it looks like the good guys got a little bit brutal with the methods. Again, I'll check all these pots kind of off camera. I don't think there's anything in them, but if I do find anything, I'll let you guys know. So yeah, on that note, we are going to start to head that way because we're going to say that at this point, Dirge like spots Cordia in the distance over there because that's where we're going to go next. But I'm going to send him to camp and we're going to switch over to Cordia. See what's going on with her.
Never a dull
so,
moment.
What we're going to say happens with Cordia is she is going to leave the last light in. Sorry to be like jumping back and forth so much in this episode. So, going back to what Cordia was doing, she found out that Roland has gone out into the shadows to go and try and help his sister and his brother. I think the sisters and brothers. So Cordia is like, we have to help Roland. She knows that Dirge said that they were heading somewhere to the south, but she hasn't been this way herself yet, so she's going to take this path. This is where Dirge was kind of like crouched, like spying on the last light in, so she also sees this like bloodied, ruined battlefield here, and she's going to assume that this is where Dirge found all the tiefling, especially because this is cultist here. So she knows she's on the right track, and she's going to run this way. So she's gone off path a little bit. Is there anything down here? I actually don't know. We might be about to run into a fight. No, nothing here. Okay. But there's this interesting area up here, which we haven't seen yet. Again, we're totally protected from the shadows now because we got the pixie blessing. What's going on with these lights?
That's odd. The flame won't go out.
Arcana failed. Any idea?
A spell, but not one I'm familiar with.
Must have been a wizard at work. I know a continual flame spell when I see one.
So someone had managed to set up a continual flame spell on these standing torches. You can turn off these torches somehow, which does cause shadow mastiffs to attack. I'm not planning on doing that, but just to let you guys know, I want to show you all the things. But yeah, nothing much going on here other than that. Maybe we can do that before we leave the area.
Something good here, I hope.
But again, I just kind of wanted to show you that this area was here, because this is a direction you can take. Everything's rotten and mouldy, and this does bring you out by the side of where Dirge and Lae'zel and everybody just got attacked and shadow cursed over here, where the measles were. So I didn't want Cordia to be attacked by the measles. I wanted like the stronger team to handle that, but I kind of wanted to show you like what that situation was about. So Cordia does spot this abandoned two-story building, and she knows this is where Dirge told her he was heading, so she's gonna make her way around it and up the side over to where we fought the Dwagar, not the Dwagar, sorry, the Dryder, Carnis. So I'm gonna say it's at this point that she finds the fairy thing, because I did want her to do that. But yeah, let's do Speak with the Dead on the Drider. I know it's not making much sense. This is a convoluted episode. I am aware of this. Just roll with it, it's fine. I just want to make it to Moonrise Towers, and I wanted to do certain things along the way. So cast a spell on the Drider, and let's see what Karnis has to say. You know, drow to drow.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Who are you? Name your house.
Erased. Forgotten. We are
So Cordia would definitely know that the... Look how green I am in this light. Cordia would definitely know that the Drider have been punished by Lolth. Again, she was being trained at one point to be a priestess of Lolth. She did grow up in a Lolth worshipping drow society in Menzoberranzan. This was how she was raised. So she would know that Driders are people who have angered Lolth and been punished for it. Like, he wasn't always a Spider-Man. He was once a drow man, a drow boy. Like, she would be aware of that punishment. But what happened to you?
Cast out. Absolute. Saved.
So there you go. That's a little bit more about his motivations, that he did something to upset Lolth. He was punished for it. He was cast out of drow society to fend for himself as punishment. He was like exiled, and somehow the Absolute found him, and he considered it saved. Like, he was given purpose, right? He was told he had to like shepherd people through the Shadow Curse lands. So that's why he was so indoctrinated, and that's why he worshipped like the Absolute so much, but his mind was gone basically. So like, let's ask, what were you doing?
Shepherding the faithful, carrying a lady's light.
So that's really confusing. Our Lady's Light. You know, you might think a cleric of Saluna or a cleric of Illistery would talk like that, but he's talking about the Absolute, which has only shown us darkness at this point. What do we want to ask? We've got the pixie thing. How did you trap that pixie in the lantern, and why?
Always many wishes. Hers the loudest.
So I guess the pixie being begged to be let out was driving him a bit crazy. I think we did realise when we were in the when we were fighting Nair in the Grimforge and he had the Broken Moon Lantern, I think we did inspect it and we saw that there was a mechanism at the bottom that basically what they're doing is they trap the fairies inside and they continually hurt the fairy, which causes it to be forced to give off the light. Yeah, they're basically torturing the fairies, the pixies inside the Moon Lanterns. So yeah, that was driving him crazy. Okay, but who is your original house? Where are you from?
Moonrise.
Oh dear.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Nothing I asked there would have been particularly helpful, by the way, guys. So, yeah, it's a sad case of Karnis. We don't know what he did before he came here. He might have been a really terrible person. I don't think we should cry too many tears for him. Again, my eldest really, really likes Karnis. I'm like, he's bad. He's a bad person. Okay, something here.
There was a battle here once. A large one.
Yeah, you can see all like the defenses, the barricades and stuff. Let's see if anyone has anything useful on them.
The dead of the Emerald Enclave. They lay here ever since their war against Ketheric Thorn.
So this was from like 1,000 years ago. This was from the original battle. I don't know if it's a good idea to be lighting all these lights. It's basically like showing people we're coming, I guess. There's a scroll. A record of Ketheric Thorm's speech to his troops before his victory over the Druids and the Harpers. So again, remember, this is ancient history. This was like 1,000 years before. Jaheira is a lot older. She was there the first time around. Like, we could have said to her, you should have hit him harder, right? So somehow Ketheric has managed to survive that original battle from 1,000 years before, and now he's back. And apparently immortal. So this is from the original battle years ago. Take this, you there. Take this from me. That is gold, friends. I'm trying to do Ketheric's voice. Let those who are covetous and cravens among you take my gold and go. There's enough to keep you warm in winter. But those cold and lonely winters to come, you will look into the bought flames in the purchased hearth and see a bargain for peace. And then you'll realize that such a retirement comes at the price of pride. So he's basically saying to some of his troops, go, take your money, go, leave. But this is why it's a see you later Toby, right? This is kind of like manipulative language. Go on, take it and go. Those who are not afraid, and me. So he's basically calling them cowards. He's like, if you leave, you're a coward, you're against us, you're not with us. We won't stop you. But nor shall we know a winter in which the coin of regret is idly spent. Instead, we shall know blood and fury, and a triumph worthy of a flame reconcilable only with heaven. I swear it. So he's basically saying, like, do this for your soul, right? If you take the money, you're a sellout and you've basically corrupted yourself, like, but those of you who remain will be heroes, you'll be remembered, you'll be glorified beyond death. Classic. I mean, my degree is literature, classics, humanities, right? It's humanities with specialisms in literature and classics. And my whole thing was like looking at what people write and why certain texts have survived times. So you can look at things like, I always want to call him Plutarch, but I don't think he's called Plutarch. I'm going to say Epis something Logos. I need to double check because there's a lot of P names and I get them mixed up. But he's basically, I'll put the name of it on the screen. It's basically his funeral speech, it's called, and he's a guy from Athens, and everybody, like, they've had these battles, and like people have lost brothers, husbands, like people have lost their lives, people have not returned from this war, and he gives this speech that's basically trying to convince everybody to like go for round 2, like to go back into battle, because basically he was going to make money from that battle. Yeah, he says very similar things, you know, like you'll be remembered as heroes, you know, you'll be like honoring the gods, and it's just his way of getting people who have been battered and bruised and defeated and who are mourning, literally the women are wailing, it says in this speech, to go back out there. So yeah, this is familiar language of, you know, what I would consider to be a corrupt leader convincing people to lay down their lives, and using, you know, political language and, you know, being an oligarch and things like that, a demagogue, to convince people to lay down their lives to make them rich, or for whatever random cause that they've taken upon themselves. I don't agree with wars and battles and political speeches at convincing people to die in battle. I think it's horrible. Anyway, he says, against us arrayed is a group of fools. Let them be our bank vault. Let us raid them, friends. Let us grow rich on screams. So basically he's saying to his soldiers, like, if you leave, you're a pussy, like, take the gold, but you'll always be a pussy, is basically what he's saying. But he's saying, like, to those of you who remain, we'll be triumphant, but what we're going to do is go and raid this place and basically take their gold. You know, doesn't seem like a great guy to me, if you ask me. Yeah, I don't know. Let's keep moving. And this is the thing with battles, like, to have a war, you've got to convince both sides that it's a war worth fighting, because most people are not going to voluntarily get themselves into a situation like this unless they can be convinced. And there's a lot of ways that politicians can convince people to fight a war on their behalf. But I see it as a sign of a bad leader. If a leader gets into a war...
Justicius, who fell long ago in service of Shah and Ketheric Thorm.
I think if a leader takes you to war, then they have failed in their duty as a leader, because a leader's duty is to protect their people, and if you get into a war, people are going to lose lives, and there's going to be like food shortages and a horrible situation. And a lot of the time the people who do go into war are doing it because they're going to make money from it. So if you look at all the, like most of the historical battles, basically it's rich people who've got something to sell, they've got weapons to sell, or, you know, they're going to go and loot a place and take the spoils for themselves, or they're going to take land, or they're going to take oil. Like, normally there's a financial motivation for a political leader to be convincing people to go to war on their behalf. Yeah, and normally the rich people gain from it, and the poor people, the regular people, the people who are basically the pawns on the battlefield, are the ones who suffer the most. So just to make you guys aware that
Dark Justicius, who fell long ago in service of Shah and
I think I've already
Ketheric
clicked on that.
Thorm.
Just to, like, if you are ever in a situation, like, question the person giving the speech, question the person telling, question the news, question whoever is trying to convince you to go to war, question their motives. How are they going to benefit from it? I don't know. Very skeptical.
The dead of the Emerald Enclave. They lay here ever since their war against Ketheric Thorm.
Because honestly, this is the outcome of war. This is the outcome of war. This is what happens to most people, and they get forgotten. The family remembers them for a bit, but who says their family is going to survive the war, right? And what ends wars? Negotiations.
Fallen druids of the Emerald Enclave. They died trying to stop Ketheric Thorm long ago.
You know, normally it's like the situation gets so bad that the other side give up. A map has been, so this is a Githyanki. A map has been etched onto this intricate disc. The risen road winds through a mountain pass. Within the hills is nestled a sizable temple. So they're talking about the Githyanki crash. Yeah, we've already been there. I don't think we need to take too much notice of that, but we will take that weapon. So I don't know what happened to this Githyanki. I presume they were...
Justicius, who fell long ago in service of Shah and
I presume the
Ketheric
Githyanki
Thorm.
is a more recent addition. I presume that they were not part of the original battle.
Dark Justicius, who fell long ago in
We're getting a
service of
repeating
Shah
dialogue there.
and Ketheric
So
Thorm.
this is the way that, if we look over there, that's where Dirge just was, so he's going to follow us over here. He's going to kind of see Cordia and come this way. But I don't think we should go this way. That does not look like Moonrise Towers. So maybe we'll skirt around the edge rather than going into the deepest part of the Shadow Curse lands. Hey look! Shadowheart! This looks like a Dark Justicia. There's a Dark Justicia mask on the floor. Didn't work out too well for them, did it? Inquisitor Verzen Ranlog. We've got this investigation notes. The book is redolent with the enticing smell of paper and ink. The ledger is filled tight, precise handwriting that seems to suggest a focused analytical mind. A fresh lead has been volunteered by one of the guests in the dungeons. Praise Lady Shah for inspiring the inventor of thumbscrews. So they are torturing somebody. The guest spoke of an abandoned house, see the map coordinates included, that once said to belong to a potter, but is now being used as a clandestine place of worship for Selûnite holdouts and their sympathizers. I guess that's that little, the trap tower that Dirge was just in, because that was a potter's place, right? There is a chance, of course, that the guest offered up false information in a bid to end his suffering. So yeah, they're talking about that interrogation that we just saw, but I suspect not. His confession had the ragged, unpolished air of truth to it. I shall endeavour to investigate at once, and cautiously, best if I am not seen, and should I find any Selûnite idols or texts, I can summon reinforcements and lay a trap. Oh, what a joy it shall be to see their faces when they are caught in the act and surrounded by dark cloaks. Verzen Ranlock, Inquisitor to the Church of Lady Shah. So yeah, they've got like Inquisitors on both sides, basically. So I guess that guy... Oh, look, we got an update to it. Okay, that should explain it a little bit. It looks like there was a burgeoning Selûnite resistance to Sharan control of the region 100 years ago. We should investigate further at the Last Light Inn. Okay, we will. We'll go back to the Last Light Inn. Okay, let's look over here. Is everybody gonna... Nobody's getting that survival check, okay? What's this?
You see an old boot balanced upside down on a cobbler's knee as he taps the final nail into the new sole. Curtis knew.
So again, if you remember from the last episode, these were like the shadow things that were attacking us. This is what remains behind after they're destroyed. And it looks like something shot fire. Maybe Roland's close, right? He is a wizard.
Roland? What's he up to out here?
Okay, Roland, we've spotted him. So it looks like Roland is the one that's been... Maybe he can look after himself. It looks like he's made short work of these guys. Oh! Uh-oh. Oh my god, stay up, Roland, stay up. Oh! Okay, how are you doing down there, Roland? He has... I guess he did bite off more than he bargained for. He took some of them out, but it looks like they've got the better of him now. He's got 17 hit points remaining and he's got strength drain. Okay. One of them, it looks like one of them disappeared. So that one's there, but we can't see where the other one went. But this is where Cordia's eye and see invisibility comes in handy, because if I have a run forward, hopefully she should be able to see it. Can't get there. Oh, it's in front of me. Is it in front of me? It's in front of me, I think. So I can't see it, but you can see how my cursor's going round like that? It's right here, I think. Which means I might be able to do... Hang on, let me get Shadowheart. Shadowheart, can you come down here? Because I have a theory about where this guy is. Let's get Shadowheart over. Let me get her about there.
Can't even catch my breath.
Oh, look! Oh my goodness! I guess that's the blood of Lathander that made him visible. Okay, perfect. Can we, in that case... Or maybe she did see him with her see invisibility with her eye. Can I get these two, do you think, with Sunbeam? Without getting Roland? I think I can. Right. Come on, Shadowheart, do it!
God damn it all! I can do nothing right! Not a damn thing!
You need radiant damage, Roland. You need spells that do radiant damage. Like, fire damage is great, and it does give off a source of light, but it's not the same thing. You need light from the heavens, not light from the hells. Okay. I'm not saying your magic wasn't up to scratch. What is it between sorcerers and wizards and the competitiveness between them in this game? We know what he's doing here. He's looking for his siblings or his friends or his thruple. Roland, you're supposed to be at Last Light.
I'm supposed to be saving Cal and Leah. Instead, I found myself cornered by shadow fiends and in need of rescue. From you, of all bloody people.
So we can call him out because he is also awfully grumpy and not showing much gratitude. But I think it's not so much as of aggression at us. It's more that he feels like a failure. It's more that he feels like he didn't save them. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't as powerful as he should have been. So it's kind of like a self-hatred. It's not really directed at us. It's just projection. So I think he needs reassurance. You were trying to save your... Hang on. You were trying to help your family. You're too hard on yourself.
Or not hard enough. I failed Cal and Leah again. Be on your way. I'll return to Last Light. I know when I'm outmatched.
Okay, I'm going to give him a bit of a helping hand though. He has got a torch, but just to be on the safe side, Will, could you go ahead and maybe cast the light spell on him, just to give him an extra little bit of safety as he heads out? There we go. So I don't know if that worked or not. It did say save failed, but maybe as well, maybe Shadowheart can go ahead and give him some healing. Just to keep him safe. We don't know if there's any more of those like horrible little garrotting monsters out there, so we need to give him every little bit of help that we possibly can. There we go. He's going to head back to Last Light now and hopefully be fine. The strength drain is also wearing off, so yeah, there we go. He's alright. He'll make it. And we
Can't give up now.
Can see something just starting to loom through the shadows there that looks to be indeed a rather large tower. I think we might have found Moonrise. Let's have a quick look at the rest of these shadow visages.
You sense a faded memory of marching in an army against Ketheric Thorm. Victory seemed possible then.
So yeah, this is what happens to the victims of the Shadow Curse. So it does look like he put up a fair fight. It looks like these Shadow Curse ravens, as some of the other things, like were all attacked by Roland.
She was a healer, trying to aid the wounded in the battle against the Sharans. But there were so many.
So I do love that you get all these little personal stories, like she was a healer.
He sensed that this one was once a fisherman, taught by his father.
Yeah. Okay, we do have a couple of chests here. I'm just going to try and lock it in myself. There's nothing too good in them. I think this one has a shield in it. Guidance me, guys. I might as well actually use Cat's Grace because we're nearly done for the day. I still didn't do it. I still didn't do it. Okay, not using my inspiration. I'm going to use Thieves' Tools. Here we go. There we go. Okay, we have in here the Gloom Strand Shield. It's only a +2 armor class, but it does also give stealth. So I guess I'm going to give that to Astarion just in case he ever needs a shield for any reason. I don't think I'm going to end up using it, to be honest. And then let's have a look at what's in here as well. Some sea green dye and some gold. We'll take it. Right, it is time to make our way to Moonrise. Just checking the time. I'm going to do that again. Right, it is time to make our way over to Moonrise Towers. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's have a recap though at this point. How is everybody feeling? Actually, no, let's head over. I'll save that for the next episode. It's saving. It's always scary when it saves. Okay. Don't know what this place is here, but there's a big building to our right. More
Dark Justiciars, who fell long ago in service of Shah and Ketheric Thorm.
So it does look like there's an entrance here. This looks like a sneaky way in. Maybe Dirge can work his way in that way. It looks like some sort of docks. I think Cordia would be looking for the main entrance. If we're walking in as a true soul, we're not sneaking in the back way, right? If our cover story is like, we're meant to be here, we are serving the Absolute, we're basically commanders in this army.
We're close. I can feel it. The Absolute. Its power is strong here.
Illistery? Okay, I'm on my mission for Illistery. I knew my purpose was to serve the light and be a hope in the darkness. And what darker place than...
That might be worth a look.
Moonrise Towers. The light shines darkest in the deepest shadows. She's so Disney princess. So yeah, basically we're going under a bit of a bridge here, so we can presume that maybe this is the main entrance. Let's keep working our way around. Something here as well. The Waning Moon. So she would realise there's this sign here.
The Waning Moon Distillery.
Yeah, so she'd be like, the waning moon, isn't that where we were supposed to look for the evidence for the Raven guy? So we can come back and do that like as another mission in another episode. But right now we definitely want to head towards Moonrise Towers.
Moonrise Towers lies ahead. We're nearing the heart of the Absolute. I'm certain of it.
Then let us push forward, heads high, weapons in hand, and turn this tower to rubble.
Will is up for it. So again,
confidence is encouraging, but a little premature. Let's keep our eyes on the task ahead. Or I, as the case may be.
So Gale taking a practical approach there. So yeah, as a recap, Will is, his dad has been taken and kidnapped by the Absolute. So as far as we know, Will's dad is somewhere in those towers. So he is ready for it. He is like the paladin, ready to steam in there and start swinging that sword around. We're going to have to hold him back a little bit and remind him that we're undercover. Shadowheart has a huge stake in this as well, because she is a Shah worshipper and she is about to meet General Ketheric Thorm, potentially, and find out about his legacy. He is a Dark Justiciar. He's a commander of the Dark Justiciars. She wants to be a Dark Justiciar. And yet, you know, she's in this situation where there's a lot of bad things happening. So I don't know what Shadowheart is going to be thinking right now, but we can definitely go and find out more about what's going on with that. You know, just as Cordia feels like she has been led there by Alistair to be this light in the deepest shadows. Shadowheart being a cleric of the shadows. We have this whole light and dark thing going right now. I'm kind of into it. Like lightsabers, the streams are crossing, guys. The streams are crossing. I know that's Ghostbusters, not Star Wars, don't at me. But yeah, like, you know, she feels like her purpose has led her here, just as I feel like my purpose has led me here. And then Gale as well, like he needs to go in there and blow himself up, right? He's been tasked with detonating himself in there, so this might be his last night alive. So I think the strategic thing to do, we've got this waypoint here so we can come straight back here at any time. The strategic thing for us right now, I think, is to regroup at camp, have a long rest and go in there fresh in the morning and, you know, make sure that we're kind of fighting fit, because, you know, Dirge, Karlach, Astarion and Lae'zel, I feel like they're just pulling up right behind us, right? They followed us here, they saw us and kind of like followed us. So we are all basically gathering here right now. So it does make sense that we tackled this basically in the next episode. So we'll go to camp, we'll long rest, we'll get a nice sweet little cutscene and we'll call it a day. Okay, so here we are back at camp for the night. I do want to take this opportunity before we go into the final cutscene of the night to say thank you everybody who's watched so far. I am at a point now where on YouTube I can have ads on my videos. I can generate a very small revenue for myself, which is really exciting because I would love to do this as like my main source of income, as like my full-time job, which does mean that I would be able to get more videos up for you guys more quickly. And so thank you for all your support. Thank you for those watch hours. Go and check out my other videos. I've got Dragon Age up, I've got older videos like Detroit Become Human, I've got Need for Speed, I've got lots of Sims content, so go and check out those games as well if you enjoy my presenting style. Yeah, leave a like, comment, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you know when my videos go live, yeah, you don't miss a thing. So again, I appreciate you all so much because without you guys I wouldn't be able to do this at all. And yeah, let's go ahead and long rest and see what the night has in store for us. Hello. So I like this, you know, I feel like it feels a bit out of context. It feels a bit strange for this to be happening in this moment, but unfortunately this cutscene occurs at this point no matter what I did. Again, I was trying to get the Karlach romance and it wasn't happening. This scene is just the scene that has to happen at this point, at some point. And what I'm going to say is that we are enjoying our potential last night on Earth, right? Our last night of freedom before going into a very dangerous situation. And, you know, just being free spirits for the moment and just being like, this might be our last night alive. Let's enjoy it. Will is the son of Duke Ravengard. He is kind of nobility. Even though his dad, I think, was like a blacksmith or something originally. I think he was from quite a modest background, and he kind of worked his way up through the politics of Baldur's Gate. So he wasn't born rich, but he did mingle with a lot of the wealthier people from Baldur's Gate. And so, you know, Will knows how to courtly dance and things like this. He is a little bit of a Prince Charming, if you ask me. Let's get into it. Let's, nice form. Where did you learn to dance like that? We know where he learned to dance like that. He already told us.
I've attended my share of fancy balls and masquerades. A few elegant moves can turn all the right heads. Figured it was time to brush up on my skills. I wouldn't want to fail my new partner.
Okay, a few things. Shadowheart looking back there, she's definitely watching and enjoying the view. I didn't know what outfit to put him in here. I went for this. These are some of the pants that we got from the last Light Inn. Do you remember when we were like getting the clothes from the Flaming Fist soldiers? Because we were like, you're going back to Baldur's Gate. We need these more than you. So these are his new pants. I did have like a bit of a 50-50 like moment where I was like, I don't know whether to put him in these pants with his like chest out and give you guys what you want, you know, give the viewers the sight that they came to see, or to put him in his fancier clothes. So you might have seen his kind of normal casual clothes. They're kind of like a little bit fancy, some luxurious materials, some red and gold. And I was actually leaning more towards the fancy clothes because I thought it suited the moment. You know, the idea of him doing his like courtly dance and reminding the audience that he is, you know, the son of a duke and he is used to a bit of luxury. But I went for the top off, not only because, you know, I thought some of you guys might be thirsty for him, but also because I like the sense of vulnerability that this gives. I like the sense of, you know, the freedom, like when he's out on the field fighting and doing what he is so good at doing, you know, the freedom that he has from all those restrictions of the nobility. So I thought that was nice because, you know, he's stripped off, he's by the fire, he's dancing, he's a bit hot, he's took his top off. You know, the freedom to be able to do that rather than be all like buttoned up tight. I thought that was nice symbolism. And also the vulnerability of him having his top off and being able to see all those scars and all the damage from all the battles he's fought. I thought this was a vulnerable moment for him where we're getting to know him better, we're getting closer to him. And I thought that was also, you know, a nice visual to have. So it's not just all about him having a nice body. But yeah, that's the decision I made in the end. Trust me. I like this option as well. I don't think you could fail anyone if you tried because, you know, there is this backstory of his father being a bit disappointed in him. Apparently there's been some rejection on his father's part towards him. So I feel like him needing reassurance is part of his character and his story development. And for us accepting him for who he is important in that way. Trust me, I don't think you could fail anyone if you tried.
I know a few people who might beg to differ, but the only one that matters is here with me now. May I have this dance?
Absolutely. We are going to smile and bow. No music. I mean, there was a comment there that did say that there's no music. But that's cute, I think. I think it's cute, like, to be dancing away while the others are sleeping and it's quiet and people are having their quiet time. We're doing this kind of, like, silent dance with each other. I think it's really cute. We do have some options. I'm not great at any of these things. Acrobatics, strength, and performance. Performance is best. And I like this feeling of, like, again, last night of freedom. Twirl around with flair and abandon. We do have this to do. We might as well use the bardic inspiration because it will reset for the next day anyway. We've got a nice little +1 from Faerun there as well. And I guess you guys are back there guiding me. Can we do this? I don't mind if we fail. It's cute either way, to be honest. Where did the bardic inspiration go? We did it anyway. I kind of like it if you fail. He's so sweet if you fail. Oh, wonderful. The best dancing I've ever seen.
How utterly charming.
Take a bow. I think she's going to curtsy. Yeah, he's really cute if you fail. You kind of like stumble and he's just really, really nice to you about it. And I really appreciate Will. Again, didn't appreciate him on my first playthrough. And his kindness and sweetness is just, I think he's a great character. Looks a bit goofy here. I don't know what it is about that face and like holding it. Not that his face is goofy, it's just a goofy expression. Curtsy.
Now, perhaps we might try a more intimate style.
Who wants to take me dancing? Should we go ballroom dancing? That would be fun. I like it. It's like playful and sweet. Again, don't judge me guys for romancing all the people. It's my perfect playthrough. I want to get as many nice moments in this very dark game as I possibly can for this playthrough. In my normal playthroughs, I've always kind of like picked one specific person, but I like this option anyway. So anyway, invite him closer with a knowing look. It's what you both want. So bad at flirting. He's so cute. He's so cute.
So much shadow around us. To think I almost missed the light. Well, it's getting late. We can't face the morrow if we don't bid farewell to the now.
I don't know if that line changes depending on who he's romancing or if he's just talking about generally like the light of finding love and companionship and affection and kindness in dark trying times. But it's such a perfect line for a cleric of light for him to say, I almost missed the light. Oh, I love it so much. I'm such a like soppy, hopeless romantic, to be honest, guys. I try and hide it, but well, I was hoping that we might spend the night together. It might be our last night on Earth in Faerun, for all we know.
I'm tempted. Trust me. I thought my heart might burst with every step.
So sweet.
But I still keep faith in the old tales of love.
Me too.
The once upon a times and the happily ever afters. I'd like to do this the proper way. The way of the old romances sung by the bards. Till next time, good night, and dream sweetly.
Oh, and I think, you know, seeing that again, all the scars and seeing that, everything he's been through written on his body. Not literally like a Astarion. He's just so lovely. It's just so lovely. And then, as if that wasn't enough, should we go and talk to him again?
Keep going.
Because you get some really, really nice stuff with him. Over here, my paladin in shining armor.
two of us.
By Baldur's helm, I wish we could have danced forever. Since we don't have forever, I wager the memory will have to do.
We don't have forever. Oh. There will be more dances to come. More memories to make, I promise.
Indeed. I shiver just thinking about it. That day can't come soon enough.
Okay. Let's talk about us for a second. We do have this. Yeah, let's say it. This is the next morning, right? We are about to go into Moonrise Towers, so you would say, the cultists have taken your father to Moonrise Towers. Florix confirmed it.
Then we know our mission. All roads converge at Moonrise.
Can we trust Florix?
I was 11 when the Councillor spotted and slayed an assassin who stalked father from the shadows. I was 13 when she brought word of a goblin warband advancing on Rivington. Her keen scouting saved 100 lives that day. The Councillor's loyalty to my father is beyond question. She's as steady as Tyr's heartbeat, as upstanding as the Sword Mountains. Father's at Moonrise Towers, and we need to save him.
If I was gonna make Will a cleric, which I have considered, because again I like the radiant damage and things like that, I would have him be a cleric of Tyr or Helm, because they're the ones he mentions. Oh, to Moonrise then. We can't let the Absolute take Grand Duke Ravengard.
We can't and we won't. The shadows be damned.
And before we go, let's talk about us.
My favorite subject.
Oh, we've unlocked kisses. We've unlocked kisses with Will. We can go. No more kisses. No more dances. But I like this question. What am I to you?
Ah, how to answer a question with so many layers as that? You are the red of the sunrise, the yellow of high noon, and the orange of sundown. If you were a song, I'd never stop singing. If you were a psalm, I'd never stop praying. You make a damn fun dance partner too.
Oh, you have such a way with words, Will. You should be a bard. Should we make Will a bard? Should we give him like a point of bard? That could be fun. I don't really need to level him up as paladin, 100%. But I like what we've got with him so far. But I don't mind the idea of giving him. He is high charisma, so warlock, bard, paladin, Will. What do you guys think? I know, like canonically, he does have a bit of a ranger thing going on, but I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do with him yet. I do like the idea of him being a bard because he is a good storyteller and he likes his stories. So like further on in the game, he does start telling like stories about the history of Baldur's Gate and some of the lore around that, which we can get into later. The thing he was saying as well about the colours he was describing her as, which doesn't really fit very well because I do see her as very like blue silver. She's got this kind of like cold light to her, like moonlight almost, and he's describing her more like a sunset or a sun rays, right, with like the golds and the reds and the oranges, which is the colours that he is literally dressed in right now. I don't know, we can say that there's something there with like, I mean she is lit up in those lights right now, but we could say there's something there about you know, when she stands next to him, his light reflects off her, you know, back to him. You know, his love reflects, but when he gives us love, we reflect it back to him. We could make up something poetic about that. But what I like to think there is that maybe Will and Karlach have like an enemies to lovers situation. I see them as really good friends. I ship Karlach and Will as like best friends. But if you were to be played as Karlach and romance Will and him saying all those things, it would make so much sense. Like the reds, the oranges, the fiery colours. I think it's designed to be a Karlach romance route. Anyway, may I kiss you?
As if you needed to ask.
This is an interaction we can repeat, by the way. We can kiss Will whenever we want now. Continuing the dance. And there's different kisses as well, so we're going to repeat it and see different versions of this. See what I mean? Like with the colours. It's because we're so close to him and he is our sunrise. Oh, it's so cute. And we'll unlock this with other characters as well and get all different kisses that we can do with them and have these really sweet moments. I do have a mod called Hugs by Cerberry. It's from Nexus, so we can hug whoever we want whenever we want. She also has, I don't know if Cerberry's gender, I'm going to say she, but I'm sorry if I get that wrong. They also have a mod called Kisses, where they've unlocked all the different kisses and you can kiss at any time, but I like that being special for when you get into those relationships with them rather than being something you can do whenever you want. But you can kiss any character with those mods, you can hug any character with those mods. So if we wanted to go and like hug Alfera, we could do that. So maybe that's something we can like try and do a little bit more. But anyway, that was really cute. I love it so much. I'm gonna leave it there. So while I'm feeling all squishy, definitely gonna leave it there. Join me next time when we go into Moonrise Towers, like literally into like the snake pit for the first time. Maybe we can go and look for this General Ketheric Thorn. Maybe Shadowheart can meet them. Maybe we'll find out more about the Absolute and what exactly is going on with that. There's definitely some interesting interactions waiting for us when we go into Moonrise, which I'm excited to share with you guys. Yeah, don't worry, it doesn't mean Act 2 is about to end. There's so much left to do. We still have to go to the Waning Moon and complete that quest for the Raven guy. What's he called? The Shade Kai? What's his name? He who was, who's kind of interrogating that person who betrayed her friends. We still need to do that. We still need to basically lift the shadow curse with Halsin's quest. So Halsin's looking for Thaniel, the boy with the forest in his eyes. We found this Art Cullen. We're trying to wake him up, so we need to go to the House of Healing to look for some kind of artifact, some kind of memory to help him wake up. We still need to go and we need to explore and look for the more Sharon stuff for Shadowheart. Like there's so much that we need to do, like still. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited for Act 2. I love this game so much and I just want to like show you everything all at once and I can't. I have to do it like piecemeal. So thank you again for sticking with me. I will see you hopefully next week. We are getting closer and closer to Christmas, so there's going to be more demands on my time, so please allow me a little bit of wriggle room with the schedule over Christmas. I'm going to go because I'm talking too much. Take care of your faces. Have a lovely holiday period. Take care of yourselves and be kind to yourselves, and I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.
I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a